It's the home opener for the Fort Bragg Timberwolves tonight as they take on the El Molino Lions. El Molino competing in the Sonoma County League and the Fort Bragg Timberwolves, of course, in the North Coast League Central Division. Hey, this should be a dandy tonight. The JV score, you could probably see it on the scoreboard, 59-28, as the JVs led big at halftime and rolled it up here in the second half as well. A lot of turnovers, but the JVs look really good tonight. Last week, the varsity looked really good too. And we're ready for a great game here tonight. So get ready. We'll have the pregame show. We'll tell you about the teams and get ready to go tonight. It's foggy, kind of cold, just what you expect here in Fort Bragg as we get ready for the Fort Bragg Timberwolves and the El Molino Lions. It should be a great game. I'm Liddy Peters from MendocinoTV.com. Hope you're set for a dandy tonight under the lights at Timberwolves Stadium.
Hey, great news from Fort Bragg Transmission. Their service has expanded, and now they do most general vehicle repairs. They're ready for radiators to differentials and from wheel bearing maintenance to tune-ups. Call Fort Bragg Transmission on Franklin Street for dependable automotive repairs.
Fort Bragg Transmission, 964-7960.
Purity Supermarket is your friendly neighborhood grocery store in downtown Fort Bragg. If you want the freshest produce with the best prices in town, head to Purity. The butcher department has great prices too. Whether you want a fresh, juicy steak or just some hamburger for your favorite recipe, you'll save money at Purity. They also stock a hot deli case with ready-to-eat ribs, chicken, and more if you're in a hurry. The shopping is convenient. You're not racing all over the store for one item to the next. And there's always plenty of parking in their spacious parking lot. For hassle-free grocery shopping and savings on your monthly food bill, visit Purity Supermarket, locally owned and community-minded on Franklin Street, downtown Fort Bragg. It's Purity. At some point in your life, you're going to need a good attorney. Ryan Perkins, attorney at law, is the only practicing attorney in Fort Bragg that was once a Fort Bragg Timberwolf. He knows the community, he knows the history, and best of all, he knows the law. Whether you're struggling to put together a will, feel you've been wronged by another business or individual, been charged with a crime, or simply have questions on whether or not you have a good legal case, call Ryan Perkins in Fort Bragg, 964-4900. Ryan Perkins, attorney at law, on your team. All right, we're getting set for tonight's game between the El Molino Lions and the Fort Bragg Timberwolves. Let's take a quick look at how the Timberwolves have done so far this year. They're 1-1. They lost to McKinleyville, but then last week they blasted Encina. 55-0 was the final score. Quarterback Kaylor Sullivan broke the record, the state record for touchdown passes in one half. He threw 8 touchdown passes in the first half. He didn't even play in the second half. And in his first game against McKinleyville, he broke the game record for yardage by a Fort Bragg Timberwolves quarterback as far as they've been keeping records. So just a junior, and in 2 games, he's already broken 2 records, passing records at Fort Bragg High School. So Kaylor Sullivan, he's very special. Their offense, they run a spread offense. It's no huddle. They run quick plays, and basically he reads the defense before he throws the ball. There isn't a hot receiver in this offense, according to Coach Roy Perkins. He threw 7 touchdown passes to different receivers in his 8 touchdown first half performance last week in Encina. So 8 touchdown passes to 7 different receivers. That's reading the defense pretty well. He basically can drop back, see what's going on. He's got an excellent arm. He reads the field well. And I tell you what, this offense is explosive because they not only can pass the ball, but they got 4 good running backs too. Their defense has done better and better each game. They had a tough time up in McKinleyville, but they've gotten a lot better. I tell you what, overall, this team is very balanced. If their defense catches up with their offense, the Timberwolves could have an outstanding year. Now, El Molino, they play in the Sonoma County League, so they play bigger schools, but so far this year, El Molino is 2-0. They beat Lower Lake and they beat Willits. Now, Willits has, they were down last year. I think that was obvious, but they were getting a little bit better. Lower Lake also was down last year a little bit. They're getting a little better. So the Timberwolves, I think, are probably going to be better than either of those two teams. So this will be a good test for the El Molino Lions to see how good they really are. Now, once they start playing in the Sonoma County League, they play much bigger schools. The competition will get much rougher. So this is really a good game for them, too. The El Molino Lions taking on a team like the Fort Bragg Timberwolves, who just might make the playoffs this year if they could keep playing and stay injury-free. Now, for the El Molino Lions, they have a pro-style offense. They basically have a two-back spread offense most of the time. Their defense is a 50 front, so you'll see a nose tackle, an unbalanced front line. They'll shift over to basically balance the backfield depending on how the Fort Bragg Timberwolves set up their offense. Their quarterback has had a good season so far, Steve Morey. Their running backs also, Eddie Taylor and Josh Wright have run very well running the football. So I'll tell you what, it's going to be a great game. El Molino Lions, Fort Bragg Timberwolves, both good football teams early in the season, so they'll obviously be a little rusty in some areas. But if the Timberwolves can play injury-free and play penalty-free, should be a good game tonight. And it's the first home game. It's a little foggy, it's a little chilly, but we're ready to go. The Timberwolves and the El Molino Lions are coming up here on MendocinoTV.com. I'm Lindy Peters. Get ready for some high school football. All right, you can see the captains now heading out to midfield to meet with the referees for the coin toss. Fort Bragg Timberwolves represented by their quarterback, Kaylor Sullivan. Devin Morgan out there as well, wearing number 4. Number 21 is Jesse Martinez. And number 56 is Ricky Cavender. Across the way for El Molino, their quarterback, Steve Morey. And difficult for me to see numbers there. Lonnie Gasper also out there, a senior. Tony Giamani is also out there as the toss goes. I think they're looking at the Timberwolves who've won the toss. We'll see if they elect to receive the football. With their electrifying swift offense, no huddle, spread, quick read passing, they probably want the football first. And in fact, the Timberwolves will receive. And they'll be moving right to left across your video screen as we begin this game. You can see the fog rolling in. It's going to be a kind of chilly night. Now, the El Molino bus arrived up from Forestville, and it was very hot over inland where El Molino High School is located. And they were saying how much colder it is here. So this is one of the things we like about playing at home. The Timberwolves always have what I think could be a weather advantage even in September. So we'll be back with the kickoff in just a moment here on MendocinoTV.com. I'm Lindy Peters. Get set. The kickoff coming up. All right, we're getting ready to go as the El Molino Lions will tee it up and kick off to the Fort Bragg Timberwolves. Teeing it up for El Molino is Zach Jivas, a senior. And deep to receive for the Timberwolves, Devin Morgan is on the near side, and on the far side is Kadu Whitlock. Now, it's going to be foggy, folks. It's going to be one of those games where that fog rolls in and gets kind of close to the field, so it may be difficult to see the action, but you never know. We're on high-def television for MendocinoTV.com. I'm Lindy Peters, ready to kick off our season here, broadcasting football for the Fort Bragg Timberwolves on MendocinoTV.com. So here we go. Here comes the kickoff. It's a high end-over-end kick, and it's taken by Morgan at his own 10-yard line. Up to the 15, to the 20, breaks a tackle, gets across the 30 to the 35, and brought down at about the 36-yard line. So the Timberwolves with a nice return by Devin Morgan, and let's watch this run-and-gun offense as Kaylor Sullivan, wearing number 12, huddles his team up. Lucas Triplett, wearing number 10, splits far out to the left. Morgan slotted inside him on the left side. The man they call the Beast, Tristan Strickland, in the slot on the right side. Morgan comes in motion. Here's the snap. A flag is down, and the Timberwolves may have moved here before it is, in fact, a motion penalty against the Timberwolves. One of the problems when you have a sophisticated spread offense at the high school level, especially early in the season, is the timing is really critical. And if one player moves or if somebody doesn't line up properly, things could break down quickly. This time they get the playoff. Sullivan throws to Morgan, through his hands, incomplete. After that 5-yard penalty, the ball moved back to the 30, so it's second down and 15 now. Morgan came in motion that time for the slot on the left side. Sullivan threw it a little behind him. He's probably got a little adrenaline flowing right now, playing before the home crowd. Once again, no huddle. Triplett wide left. Morgan slotted inside him. 2 men split out to the right, one back behind Sullivan. He's back to pass. Again, throws to his back out of the backfield. He's hit almost immediately. Making the stop that time for El Molino was Tony Giamini. Giacomello made the catch. They picked up little or nothing that time. In fact, no gain on the play. It's going to set up 3rd and 15 for the Timberwolves. Again, the spread offensive formation as Sullivan in the shotgun. Takes a snap. Fakes, looks, looking to his left, throws deep. Triplets here, wide open, makes a catch at 45 to the 40, and thrown out of bounds and hit out of bounds, but no penalty flag at about the El Molino 38-yard line. So a beautiful pass. Triplet got open that time. The play action froze the defensive back for a moment that time, and Sullivan delivered the pass right on the money. So it's a Timberwolves first down across to the 38-yard line where it's going to be 1st and 10 for Bragg. Again, running that no-huddle offense. In the backfield is Brett Giacomello and the Beast, Tristan Strickland. Now they split out to slots on the right side. Morgan, the lone back, left of Sullivan out of the shotgun. Takes a snap, quick throw right to Giacomello. Or I'm sorry, that's not Giacomello. He's tackled immediately that time. That was Austin Trujillo who made the catch that time, but a loss of the play of about 3, setting up 2nd down and 13. We're just underway, first quarter, 10:38 to go. And if you joined us late, the Fort Bragg JVs beat the El Molino Lions junior varsity squad 59-20. It wasn't much of a game, actually. But it's a whole different story here at the varsity level. So 2nd down and 14 for Sullivan. This time he gives. And that's Giacomello running his way across the 35-yard line down to about the 34, I think, setting up about a 3rd down and looks like about 6 yards to go. Let's see where they spot it. Clock continues to run. He didn't go out of bounds that time. He was dropped just short of the sideline, so it'll be 3rd down and about 6. Now, once again, no huddle for the Timberwolves. Out of the shotgun from the far hash mark. Sullivan takes a snap. He's back to pass. He looks. He throws. The ball is caught short of the 1st down. They're going to drop him, gang tackling about the 33-yard line, setting up 4th down now for the Timberwolves at about the looks like about the 32-yard line, maybe picked up 2 yards. Giacomello was the receiver that time. So 4th down. Again, Triplet way out here left. Morgan slotted inside of him. Triplet, a great wide receiver. 4th down and about 4. Sullivan back to pass. Looking for Triplet. Throws deep. Here he comes. He jumps up and can't make the catch. The safety for El Molino came over, made a nice play that time, and knocked it away. So El Molino will take over. That was broken up that time by Jeremy Pearson. Pearson, by the way, is a good receiver on the offensive side of the ball. The skill position players, Lonnie Gasper, he's pretty fast and explosive. Also Eddie Taylor and Josh Wright, they're good running backs. At wide receiver, Jeremy Pearson, he's the safety that just knocked that pass away. And right now it's going to be Steve Morey bringing out the offense. And here they go. Splitting out to the right is Gasper, a man slotted inside of him. It looks like a pro set now as Morey's got backs in the I formation behind him. Takes a snap, gives to the tailback coming through. He's hit by Giacomello, but he did pick up a few yards across the 35-yard line to the to their own 36-yard line. Looks like about a 3-yard pickup, setting down 2nd down and 7. That was Taylor, the ball carrier. So with 8:52 to go here in the first quarter, El Molino huddles up. They're come out of the huddle and up to the line of scrimmage, and the referee stopped the clock for a moment here. We get a new football from the sideline of the Lions. So it's 2nd down, about 7. The ball at their own 36-yard line as Morey, again with a pro-style offense set, backs in the I formation behind him. Takes a snap, gives again to the second man through, and he's dropped back behind the line of scrimmage that time. Hunter Casey made the initial hit, and the rest of the defense helped finish him off that time. Looked like Cooper was in there on the stop as well. Loss of about a yard, setting up 3rd and long. Let's see if El Molino puts it in the air. The ball at their own 34-yard line. 3rd down and about 7 or 8 now. First quarter, 8:14 to go, no score. This is the first possession for El Molino. The Timberwolves had it, moved it down to about the 35-yard line, then went for it on 4th down and didn't get it. And El Molino has taken over on downs, and the Lions call a timeout. So we'll take a timeout. The score, 0-0. We're in the first quarter, 8:03 to go. I'm Lindy Peters. You're watching on the internet, MendocinoTV.com. All right, here we go. It's third down at about 7 now as we're back to action. The Lions up to the line of scrimmage. This time a single back. 3 men split to the right for Morey. He's back to pass, looking this way. Throws, and it's, almost intercepted. The intended receiver that time was Pearson. It was thrown a little ahead of him, actually. I think Pearson tried to adjust to the defense on that and wasn't able to do so. Or that was Jamini, the intended receiver. So it's going to be fourth down at their own 34, and the Lions will probably punt here. Morgan is back expecting a punt. And it looks like the Lions are going to punt it away. The Lions, remember, are 2-0. Fort Bragg 1-1 going into this game. First quarter, 8 minutes to go. In our first home game under the lights here at Timberwolves Stadium. So the Lions will punt. There's the snap. The kick is away. It's fairly short. Fair catch is called for and made at about the... looks like about the 37, 38-yard line. The Timberwolves will take over 1st and 10. The fair catch made that time by Tamayo. They like to call him the Mayan Nightmare. But he had a fair catch that time, so we didn't get to see him in action. So it's 1st and 10 Timberwolves, and once again in that quick spread offense. Kaylor Sullivan in the shotgun, back to pass, short drop, throws over the middle. Ball is missed that time, right through the hands of Lucas Triplett. Incomplete, 2nd and 10. Clock stops, 7:51 to go here in the first quarter. The Timberwolves with their no-huddle offense, it's a rather quick pace. And boy, they really dropped it on Encina the last time out on the field in Sacramento. They won 55-0. Now there's a little mix-up there as Sullivan tries to get his formation correct. It's a nobody in the backfield, and the Timberwolves set up wrong. Now that's the problem, again, with a spread offense. If you don't set your formation properly, actually it's offsides against El Molino. So I'll take that back. But again, this is a very complicated, sophisticated offense the Timberwolves are running. They have a lot of different formations, and at this early stage in the season, just their third game, they might have a little difficulty pulling off some of their plays, but the penalty makes it 2nd down and 5 now. Sullivan's got time, looks, rolling to his left. He's in trouble. He throws for Morgan. It's caught at the 40-yard line. He breaks the tackle to the 30, to the 25, and down he goes at the 19-yard line. Beautiful pass by Sullivan right over the man's head. In fact, that was right over a defender and right in front of another defender. And Morgan, to his credit, with traffic all around him, made a nice catch facing back towards his quarterback, took the football and ran it down inside the, well, they're going to mark it right at the 20-yard line. So 1st and 10 Timberwolves at the El Molino 20. No score. First quarter, 7:36 to go. Lindy Peters from MendocinoTV.com, and here the Timberwolves come up to the line of scrimmage. Sullivan rolling to his right this time. Pump fakes, looks, got some time. Now he's going to run. And he breaks a tackle. He's down to the 15, inside the 15, close to the 10, inside the 10, I think, to about the 9-yard line, close to a first down. Sullivan has such good vision. He knows how to pump fake. He can run if he has to. He's a tough kid, and it's a 9-yard gain, setting up 2nd and 1 now, right at about the 11-yard line of El Molino. So the Timberwolves knocking on the door now with a short 2nd down play. Sullivan going to throw it over the middle. Got a man wide open and overthrew him in the end zone. That was a touchdown as Tyler Baker broke free. And Sullivan a little upset at himself because he really didn't have to put as much mustard on that one as he did, and it was incomplete. Setting up 3rd and short now. The Timberwolves can run the ball if they have to. They have 4 good running backs. If they're forced to run, they can. In the backfield is Giacomella. The give is to him. He's got a first down and more inside the 5. Breaks a tackle. Touchdown, Timberwolves. And just as I was saying, the Timberwolves can run the football if they have to. And Brett Giacomella ran it right down the throat of the defense into the end zone. And the Timberwolves draw first blood here tonight with 6:49 to go. First quarter, it's Fort Bragg 6 and El Molino nothing. And you know, sometimes the old school football, you run to set up the pass. The Timberwolves on that drive pass, and set up the run. Nicely done. Here comes the extra point now. And the kick is up, got plenty of distance, and it's good. So with 6:49 to go here in the first quarter, it's the Fort Bragg Timberwolves 7, the El Molino Lions nothing. For MendocinoTV.com, I'm Lindy Peters. A good start for Fort Bragg in front of their home crowd on a foggy night. We'll be back with a kickoff here in just a moment. All right, we're back. The kicking specialist for the Timberwolves is Rain Saunders. You might remember his brother River was a great kicker for the Timberwolves last year. This is Rain kicking this year. They changed his number of the program, so there was a little scramble to find out who it is. So here we go. Here's the kickoff as Saunders kicks it away, end over end, bounces at about the 25, picked up at about the 17-yard line, and hit immediately, but he breaks a tackle. Coming to the outside, another beautiful block, but a penalty is going to bring it back. Another penalty flag. Nice run back that time by Eddie Taylor. He was showing some nice moves, but blocking, I believe, behind the back that time, a block and a penalty flag goes down, and this nice run back is going to come back and set the Lions back a bit. Blocking in the back is the penalty call. So the ball would have been spotted up close to the 35-yard line. They're going to take it back, I believe, to about the 20. That's where they'll mark it. So the Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 20. So here we go. The Timberwolves defense now will get tried again. The Lions on their first possession had to punt it away. Didn't move the ball across midfield. 6:35 to go. First quarter, Fort Bragg 7, El Molino nothing. Again, that pro set, Morey with two backs behind him in the I formation. The I back well back in the tailback position. He'll get the ball, tries that left side, and he's stopped after a short gain of about 22 yards, up to about the 22-yard line. That was Eddie Taylor. Lined up in that tailback position that time for the Lions. El Molino beat Willits and beat Lower Lake. Coming into this game, they have not lost. Taylor at the tailback, no, lone back this time. Three men split out to the right for Morey. One man split out left. And he's looking to his left. Now he throws it right over the middle. Nice catch that time and dropped short of the first down. That was Tony Gemini. Gemini made the catch, got up to about the 20, let's call it the 28-yard line, setting up 3rd and 3 now. We're in the first quarter, 5:28 to go. It's Fort Bragg 7, El Molino nothing. Nice crowd here tonight on what's turning out to be a chilly night. This time Taylor splits way out to the right. Gemini splits inside of him. Two backs in the I formation behind Morey. 3rd and short now. Morey is going to give, and looks like a first down as Taylor gets it up across the 20, or up the 30-yard line, up to about the 31-yard line, and it is a first down for El Molino. Down about 5 minutes to go in the first quarter. Timberwolves leading this one 7-0. And the Lions get a play in from the sideline. This time Taylor splits out to the right along with Gemini. Morey with two men split left, two men split right. Pro set this time, one back behind him. He's back to pass. He's looking to his right. Now he looks to his left. Got plenty of time. Now he rolls. Now a flag goes down. The pass is completed to 30 to the 35, up across the 40, close to the first down. But a penalty flag is down. I think it was Gasper that made the catch coming out of the backfield, and the penalty flag will go against the Lions. It's holding against El Molino. You figure when you got that much time to throw, there might be somebody doing a little holding somewhere there in the blocking scheme, and that's exactly what happened. So the penalty will get marked from the 30. It should go back to about the 20-yard line, setting up first down and 20 now for the Lions. The ball back at their own 20-yard line. It's the first quarter of action. I'm Lindy Peters. It's MendocinoTV.com, and the Timberwolves are leading this one 7-0. As the Lions break the huddle, coming out to the right is Gasper. Slotted inside of him is Gemini. Two men split left, one back behind Morey. Again, here's that spread pro set. Morey back to pass, looking, and now he is sacked. The sack that time, that was Ricky Cavender, who was the first man there. Also, Tristan Strickland was there, the man they call the Beast. And that ball dropped back to about the 16-yard line. It's going to set up second down at about 26 now. So once again, the Lions break the huddle. Gasper splits way out to the right. Two men split left. Backs in the I formation behind Morey. Fake, play action, throw, pass is caught. Nice catch that time as Zach Jeeves dove to the ground to make the catch. Up to about the 21-yard line. A short gain, only about a 3 or 4 yard gain, but Morey had to get rid of that football. He was getting a little pressure once again. So it's going to be third and long now. Third about, looks like about 22 yards to go here for a Lion first down. Down to 3 minutes to go. First quarter, Fort Bragg 7. And the El Molino Lions nothing. The Timberwolves scoring on a nice touchdown run by Brett Giacomella from 11 yards out. Now they're on the near sideline here. The fog clearing up just a little bit. Hopefully our high-def cameras on MendocinoTV.com just came in focus a little better. Morey back to pass. Third down. Throws. Got a man open, and it's caught right at midfield. Nice catch that time. On the coverage was Jesse Martinez. Martinez was beat by about 3 or 4 yards, and a nice catch that time as he came back to meet the football. So 2:34 to go, and a nice long gain on third down sets up 1st and 10 for the Lions here at the midfield. So the Lions with a first down now at midfield. They have not been across midfield yet. This is only their second possession. Again, 2 men split out right, 2 men left. Backs in the I formation behind Morey over center. He takes a snap, gives to the first man through, nearly fumbles the football. I think the Timberwolves might have it. He does. That was Tristan Strickland who picked up the football that time. They tried to give it to the first man through, and there was a fumble on the exchange, and Strickland was right there as he picks up the fumble, and the Timberwolves get the turnover. After that big play, Fort Bragg gets it right back. And across midfield at the 47-yard line of the Lions. Down to 2:05 to go, first quarter. Fort Bragg leading 7-0. Sullivan again out of the shotgun. Back to pass. Looking, throws over the middle. Got a man wide open. He makes the catch. Inside the 25-yard line is Tyler Baker. And again, Sullivan can read the field so well. He drops back. He's got several receivers out there on the spread formation. Usually somebody's open, and he's a young quarterback, just a junior, but he's able to see the field so well and find the open man. He just killed him in Encina last week, setting a state record with 8 touchdown passes in the first half. Cal High Sports had a feature on him this week. Now he throws it backwards. That's a lateral to Devin Morgan. Morgan breaks a tackle and gets inside the 15-yard line. Close to another Timberwolf first down. Nice move that time by Morgan after the catch. That was actually a lateral. That was a backwards pass. Had it been incomplete, it would have been a fumble, but Morgan made the catch and made the nice moves to get up inside the 15-yard line to the 14-yard line, setting up a second down and short now. Minute 20 to go, first half. Fort Bragg leading 7-0. Baker in the slot, right side. Triplet split out wide left. Morgan comes in motion now. They're overloaded to the right side with 3 receivers. Sullivan looks that way, then throws it back to Triplet. On coverage, Triplet makes a catch. Touchdown, Timberwolves. Beautiful catch by Lucas Triplet as those twos tore it up on the JV field last year, and they get a touchdown here at home in the first quarter with a minute to go. It's Fort Bragg 13 and El Molino nothing. Boy, I tell you what, Coach Roy Perkins told me this before the game. He said, I don't know how many games we win, but it's going to be fun to watch because we're exciting. And indeed they are. So once again, it'll be Rain Saunders attempting the extra point. There's the snap, spots down, the kick is up, it's got the distance, and it is good. A minute to go, first quarter. It's Fort Bragg 14 and El Molino nothing. And we'll be back with the kickoff here in just a bit. I'm Lindy Peters. You're watching MendocinoTV.com. High-definition internet television with high school sports. live from Timberwolves Stadium. All right, here we go as we get set to kick off. Saunders will kick it off. A minute to go in the first quarter. Fort Bragg 14, El Molino nothing. Here's the kick. And it's a short kick, bouncing down to about the 32-yard line, and it's downed at the 32-yard line by Josh Wright. So the Lions will take over first down at their own 31-yard line. Under a minute to go first quarter. Fort Bragg 14, El Molino nothing on a foggy night here under the lights at Timberwolves Stadium. The Lions will start on the near hash mark here. Play comes in from the sideline. Gasper splits out to the right. Two men split out left. Bryce Miller far left. Man slotted inside him. I believe that's Jamini. Hard to see in the fog. Backs in the I formation as Morey's over center for the Lions. He gives to the tailback, and he is stopped immediately by Brett Giacomella and then finished off. Coming in there, and Hunter Casey lowering his shoulder and knocking him back. No gain on that play. Maybe a loss of a yard. It'll be second down. Ball at the 30-yard line. Lost about a yard that time. Clock is running after that running play. 37 seconds to go here in this first quarter. The Timberwolves now starting to feel pretty good, leading 14-0. Their defense now starting to come after them a little bit. And a timeout is called by the Fort Bragg Timberwolves. Coach Perkins saw something out there defensively he didn't like. So we'll take a timeout. The score here in the first quarter with just 24 seconds to go, it's Fort Bragg 14, El Molino nothing. I'm Lindy Peters for MendocinoTV.com. All right, we're back to action now. Second down and 11 after the Timberwolves timeout. El Molino has a football. The ball at their own 31-yard line. Three men split to the right. One man splits left. The last time they had this formation, they threw it to the man split out to the left on a deep pattern. Back to passes. Morey's looking for that same play, and here it comes. And this time, it's nearly intercepted. Martinez on the defense. Also back there was Scooty Titus on coverage. But that was the same play they ran, and I think the Timberwolves were ready for it this time. Out of that formation. Last time they made a nice long gain to pick up a first down, the Lions did on that same play, but the Timberwolves were ready that time. So it's going to be third down and 11 now, the ball right at the 30-yard line. We're still in the first quarter, 16 seconds to go. And here come the Lions now. Two men split left, two men split right. The spread formation, one back behind Morey, the quarterback. He's back to pass. Draw play. Coming right up the middle with the football and getting dropped short of the first down is Eddie Taylor that time. Giacomella made the stop. He has really played well tonight early on here in this game. Brett Giacomella, he has scored a touchdown on offense, and he is really plugging up the run on defense. That's the end of the first quarter. The score, it is Fort Bragg 14, El Molino nothing. I'm Lindy Peters from MendocinoTV.com. We'll be back with the second quarter. So far, it's all purple and white tonight at Timberwolves Stadium. All right, we're set to go for the second quarter. We want to thank the people that make it possible to bring you this game tonight from Timberwolves Stadium, including Randall's Heating and Sheet Metal, Purity Supermarket, Peoria Insurance LLC, Columbia's Market and Deli, the Jerry Mello Foundation, Ryan Perkins Attorney at Law, and Fort Bragg Transmission. They are making it possible to bring you this game from Timberwolves Stadium, and so far the Timberwolves playing very well, leading 14-0. So the Lions will be in punt formation now. Morgan, the deep man, back at about his own 28-yard line for the Timberwolves. There's the snap. He gets the punt away. A nice punt. Morgan at the 30-yard line will call for a fair catch. And just playing it safe that time, Gasper was down on the coverage for the Lions, ready to make the stop. So here we go. The Timberwolves. So far tonight, it's been an air raid. They've been throwing the ball. Kaylor Sullivan has to make quick reads, and he's done very well so far. He's got a touchdown pass, and the Timberwolves take over now, going left to right across your screen. This time, Sullivan fakes, keeps the football, and goes around the left side. Doesn't get a whole lot, maybe a yard or two, to about the 32-yard line. Nice fake that time. The defense went for Tristan Strickland, the man he faked it to, but they didn't get much as Sullivan doesn't have a lot of speed. He's a good, shifty runner, but Couldn't get outside. Gained about 2 yards. 2nd down and 8 now for the Timberwolves. The ball at their own 32-yard line. 2 men split right, 2 men split left. Sullivan throws it over the middle. Ooh, right in and out of his hands that time. The intended receiver, Tyler Baker, couldn't hang on. So it's going to be 3rd down and about 8. Just underway, 2nd quarter. Fort Bragg leading 14-0. I'm Lindy Peters for MendocinoTV.com. Glad you're viewing wherever you might be. Thanks to the internet and the technology we have today, you could be sitting right now in Cleveland, Ohio at a bus stop watching this game on your smartphone. Snap. Sullivan looking, throwing deep. Got a man a little bit overthrown that time, and probably a good thing. Austin Trujillo was the man there, but good defensive coverage back as Eddie Taylor there. So it's 4th down. The Timberwolves will have their first punt of the night. Sullivan that time, probably a good thing he overthrew it a little bit, because it looked from my vantage point as though Taylor was going to have a good chance to pick that pass off if it was thrown anywhere but where he threw it, which was overthrown, and that was a good thing. So the Timberwolves will put Rain Saunders in punt formation. He gets a kick away, a spiral kick. Gets a nice Timberwolves bounce. And it may have touched one of the Lions. If it did, the Timberwolves will have it. No, apparently just got his leg out of the way, and the Lions will retain possession of the ball at about their own 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 El Molino, 11:04 to go, 2nd quarter. Fort Bragg leading 14-0. That fog just rolling in. In fact, it's almost kind of a drizzle now. Friday night under the lights at Timberwolves Stadium as they send their defense out there. Strickland along with Tristan Cooper on the defensive line going across. Cooper, of course, the nose tackle. Morey for the quarterback position. And the El Molino Lions take over with the I formation this time. They give to the I back. He breaks a tackle and gets through and still on his feet. Dragged down short of the first down now by a whole bevy of tacklers at about the 37-yard line. But a nice pickup that time. He picked up about 7 yards getting through the initial contact. Gaby Barra was in on the stop, coming up to help out from his defensive backfield position. Also, Lucas Triplett from his safety position came up to help finish him off. Jesse Bishop comes out for the Timberwolves. 2nd down and short now for El Molino. They give again to the second back. He's got a 1st down and more as he's tackled nicely that time by Jesse Martinez. But a nice run that time by Eddie Taylor. And that's a 1st down for the El Molino Lions. 10:20 to go, 2nd quarter. Clock stops for a moment while they mark the 1st down. The chain gang comes across the field. 1st and 10. The Lions have to get to the Timberwolves 45-yard line for another 1st down. They send 2 men split out right. 1 man splits out left. Backs are in the I formation. That's Taylor in the I back position. They give it to him, and he is stopped this time. Nice play. It looked like that was Tristan Strickland, the beast, underneath there that made the initial contact. Also in there on the stop was Hunter Casey. No gain on the play, or maybe a yard. 2nd down and 9. Clock continues to run here. 2nd quarter, 9:40 to go. Fort Bragg 14, El Molino nothing. And now Taylor leaves the game limping just a little bit. That would be a loss for the Lions if he can't get back out there. Now in the backfield along with him is Josh Wright. He's a good running back too. I talked to the athletic director for El Molino, and they don't lose a whole lot at running back position. There's a play action pass underway. Man's open, makes the catch, and he is dropped short of the 1st down. Making the catch that time was Bryce Miller, I think, or was it Jeeves? Not sure who it was. It get a little foggy there as he came across the middle. He picked up about 5 yards. It's going to set up 3rd down and 5 now. The ball is short of the midfield stripe at the El Molino 49-yard line. Miller splits out to the left. Jeremy Pearson, good receiver, slotted inside of him. Morey on the far hash mark over the football. Back to pass. He's looking, and he is sacked. Getting in there to make the sack for the Fort Bragg Timberwolves was Marco Mora. Mora is back this year. He didn't play last year after a year off from the JVs, but boy, that was a big play there as he sacked the quarterback on 3rd down and 5, setting up 4th down, and the Lions will have to punt. The ball at their own, looks like about the 44-yard line. Nice play that time by Marco Mora as he came like a cape and sacked the quarterback from behind. Morey that time got hit from his blind side. Morgan is back in punt formation. Triplets back there with him deep as the Lions get set to punt. The punt is away. A nice high kick away from the return man. Takes an El Molino bounce. Morgan fields it at the 15, to the 20, to the 25, to the 30, and out of bounds he goes at about the 35-yard line, I think. And a penalty flag comes flying in from the umpire on the far side of the field. On the back side of that play, a penalty flag came in. Probably will go against the Timberwolves on a return, and that's it, blocking in the back. And you got to wonder where that block was, because obviously Morgan was running towards the out-of-bounds line, and I'm not faulting the referee. I'm just saying that it probably should have been, you shouldn't have blocked somebody in the back under those conditions, because you weren't going to help your runner at that time. But I didn't catch it myself. But these are the things early in the season that you need to work on, especially in special teams. But still the Timberwolves football. They'll have it 1st and 10 at their own 25. Again in the spread formation. Kaylor Sullivan at shotgun. 2 men left, 2 men right. Fake. Play action. Looks, he's getting pressure. Now he throws it over the middle, and again it's incomplete as Tyler Baker just can't hang on to the football right now. That was a perfect pass right through his hands. You could hear it hit his shoulder pads that time. Your shoulder pads come down and protect your sternum, and that ball hit right on there so loud you could hear it up here. One of the things when you are catching a pass, you don't want that ball to get that far into your sternum shoulder pad protection because it will bounce off. Sullivan back to pass quickly. No huddle offense. Throwing wide this time to the left. Overthrows his man. Good coverage that time. Morgan, the intended receiver. So quickly, it's 3rd and 10. The Lions are covering the out routes pretty well. The sidelines aren't really open. Where the Timberwolves have found some holes in their defense passing right now is over the middle. But unfortunately, a couple times they've been unable to make that a complete pass. All right, here we go. Shotgun. 2 men left, 2 men right for Sullivan on a big 3rd down play. Back to pass. Getting a little pressure. Now he steps up. Steps up and throws. And it's incomplete. He might have been over the line of scrimmage when he threw that football. I guess not. He's pretty savvy where he is on the field, so it'll be 4th down. The Timberwolves are going to have to punt. Stops the clock with 7:26 to go, first half. Fort Bragg leading 14-0. Back to my point, when you're catching a football, you try and catch it out in front of you with your hands and then bring it into your stomach or your shoulder or wherever that pass is coming. If you wait till it hits your shoulder or your pads, then usually the result isn't very good. So Saunders will punt. He gets the kick away. It's end over end, kind of a short kick. Hits it about midfield, takes a Fort Bragg bounce down to about the 42-yard line. So with 7:17 to go here in this first half, the El Molino Lions take it at their own 43-yard lines for another possession, 1st and 10. By the way, back in the game after limping off a little bit, Eddie Taylor, he's back in the huddle for the Lions offense. Again, some thick fog coming across the field, making visibility a little difficult with the naked eye, but with the camera you might be able to see a little better than I can. So here we go. 1st and 10 for the Lions, the ball at their own 43. 2 men split left, 1 man split right, backs in the I formation. There's the give, once again to Taylor, weaving his way through. 1st down and more across midfield to the 45-yard line, and a late hit on the Timberwolves will tack on another 15 yards and bring it all the way down probably to about the 30-yard line. Let's see where they mark it off from. 7:10 to go here, and the Timberwolves don't want to hurt themselves with some penalties. Nice run that time by Taylor. That's a penalty. It's a personal foul. Late hit. That's 15 yards at the high school level. And the Timberwolves will back themselves up to their own 30-yard line now as El Molino picks up a 1st and 10. This is MendocinoTV.com. I'm Lindy Peters. Thanks for watching, wherever you might be, at home, on your smartphone, maybe riding with somebody in the car on your smartphone watching this game. All right, pro set, spread offense. 2 men split left, 2 men right, 1 back behind Morey, the quarterback. Back to pass. Looks, throws over the middle, got a man wide open, makes a catch, and he's inside the 10, down to the 4-yard line, and a penalty flag. I think the Timberwolves may have led with their helmet that time. And the man who they're calling it on, Jesse Martinez, is slapping his shoulder as if to say, I used my shoulder that time, not my head. But the referee didn't see it that way, and he's the guy who counts. It'll basically be half the distance to the goal. They're already down to about the 2-yard line, so it won't be that big of a difference. But the Lions are knocking at the door right now as the referees talk it over a little bit. .6:56 to go. We're in the first quarter. It's Fort Bragg 14, the Lions nothing. Now they're picking up the flag. So apparently that was overruled as the officials got together and talked it over a little bit. They decided that was not an illegal hit. So here we go. It's 1st and goal. The Lions' best opportunity to get in the end zone right now, inside the Timberwolves 5-yard line. There's a give to Taylor, and he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Lions. So Eddie Taylor's been running the ball very well tonight. We don't have stats on how many yards he has. I don't have a stat person with me, but nice run that time to set up the touchdown, and a nice little touchdown run to give the Lions their first points on the board. So with 6:38 to go here in the half, it's now Fort Bragg 14, El Molino 6. The Lions on for the extra point. And Zach Jeeves will attempt the extra point for the Lions. So here we go. The extra point attempt coming. Snap, spot, kick is good. So with 6:38 to go here in this first half, it's Fort Bragg 14, El Molino 7, and we got a game. Now remember, the Timberwolves took the opening kickoff, so when we come back here at halftime, it's going to be El Molino's first possession in the third quarter. That's still a ways off. 6:36 to go here in the second quarter. The Timberwolves now will get set to receive the kickoff. And if I'm Fort Bragg special teams here, I would be a little leery of a potential onside kick. Now, one of the things you probably don't want to do is give the Timberwolves the football in decent field position when their offense is rolling. But the last couple of times, the Lions defense has been able to thwart the offensive series for the Timberwolves, and the Lions just picked up a little momentum with that touchdown. So we'll see. They might choose to try and get the ball right back with an onside kick, or they might just kick it away. Timberwolves are set up to receive this kick as though they're going to kick it away. Morgan is deep. Back there with him is Kadu Whitlock. And we got a little delay on the field for some reason. The referee is looking over, I guess, seeing what football they want to use for the kickoff. And now the ball boy is going to get the right kickoff. The ball, in high school football, you get to use the football of your choice when you have the ball on offense. So El Molino had their football out there to kick it off to our receiving team, and they needed to switch it. So that's what the delay was, and now we're set to go. 14-7 Timberwolves, 6:38 to go here in the second quarter. As the Lions get set to kick it off, that fog once again rather thick here at Timberwolves Stadium tonight. And there's the kick. It's a low kick, end over end. Morgan watches it go all the way through the end zone. The Timberwolves will take it at their own 20-yard line. Nice kick that time. That certainly was anything but an onside kick. So Fort Bragg takes over. 1st and 10, the ball at their own 20-yard line. With their spread offense, no huddle. I like to call it the air raid offense, with junior quarterback Kaylor Sullivan running the show. Austin Trujillo splits out to the right. Slotted inside of him is Jesse Martinez. 2 men split out left. That's Triplett way out to the left. And there's a penalty flag. Oh, a timeout. The Lions call a quick timeout, so we'll take a timeout. Still 6:38 to go here in the second quarter. They haven't got a playoff since the touchdown by the Lions and the extra point. We'll take a timeout. Once again, it's Fort Bragg 14, El Molino 7. Lindy Peters for MendocinoTV.com. We'll take a short break and return. Following the timeout, now the Timberwolves have it 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Same offensive set as they had as we went to timeout. Trujillo out here with Martinez split right, 2 men split left, Triplett at the top of the screen. Back to pass is Sullivan. He throws it over the middle. The ball is complete to Morgan, and he's tackled just at the line of scrimmage, maybe picked up a yard. Nice little underneath route that time, but he was chased down and tackled from behind. Josh Wright in on the defense that time for the Lions. So 2nd down and still about 10 yards to go. There's the snap. Pass. Caught over the middle this time. 1st down Timberwolves to the 30, to the 40, across the 45, and out to the 48-yard line. Nice catch and run that time by Jesse Martinez. Nice read by Caleb Sullivan. As I said a few minutes back in our and there's a penalty flag comes flying in for some reason. Out of nowhere again. The official on the far side of the field might have been a face mask. I'm not sure. Let's see what the call is here. The face mask call would be another, they'll tack on some more yards for the Timberwolves in the positive direction. But if it goes against Fort Bragg, I don't think it is, because the Timberwolves seem to be standing right by the referees. They're not backing up as if the penalty is against them. Either way, the Timberwolves do have it pretty close to midfield, the ball at about their own 48-yard line. Nice catch and run that time by Martinez. About a 30-yard gain. 6:07 to go second quarter. Boy, I tell you what, the last 31 seconds of this game have taken more like about 5 minutes or more. But, when the officials, they have talked, the last penalty they had near the goal line, they had 5 minutes of talking too. This is high school football. There's no team of officials back in New York City reviewing a replay that they're going to send in and, overrule anything. So let's see, the official's now coming over to the sideline. He is showing face mask against the Lions, and he's also showing delay a game against the Lions. Or not delay a game. I think the Timberwolves will take the face mask because that's 15 yards, I think. The Lions are moving way back defensively. I think Fort Bragg is going to have this ball inside the Lions' 40-yard line when all is said and done. Let's see where they spot it. It's only a 5-yard face mask. That's probably what they were talking about. So the Lions were moving back as though it was going to be 15 and flagrant, but it's a 5-yard incidental face mask penalty. The bottom line is 1st down, and Sullivan wasn't even ready for the snap, and the fumble is on the ground, and there's a scrum for the fumble right now, and El Molino has it. So the ball was snapped. Sullivan wasn't even ready. He was looking at the field, and the ball was snapped. I don't know what happened there, but the Lions get a big turnover. Fort Bragg was on the move that time. They had a 1st down across midfield. And now the ball's at their own 49-yard line, and the Lions have it offensively. 5:57 to go with a chance to tie the game. And again, the Lions get the kickoff to begin the second half. That was a big turnover there, and that's the kind you don't like to see because if somebody made a mistake. So now the Lions have it 1st and 10, just across midfield. 2 men split out right, 1 man splits out left. This is the formation they throw left on, or have twice. This time they give. And the man is dropped that time once again. Coming right up the middle was Eddie Taylor. Stopped that time by the Timberwolves. That was Casey on the stop, Hunter Casey. About a 2-yard gain, 2nd down and about 8. Keeps the clock running now. 5:40 to go here in this first half. Fort Bragg leading 14-7. We got a good game here tonight. The Lions come in here undefeated. Timberwolves 1-1. They went up to McKinleyville and lost their first game, but the Panthers up in McKinleyville always have a good team. So 2nd down now at the Timberwolves' 46-yard line. Morey over center. Lone back behind him, 2 men left, 2 men right. He's back to pass. He's looking over the middle. His pass is caught. And a first down over the 30 down to the 28-yard line. Jamini made the catch. One of the things Coach Perkins told me before the game is the only thing they were worried about is their defense. Their defense just isn't quite gelling yet, and they're working on some things, and El Molino right now is moving the football. Using a passing game pretty much to get the ball downfield, although Taylor with a nice run last time they had the football. So with 5 minutes to go here in the second quarter, down to the 26-yard line of the Timberwolves, it's 1st and 10 El Molino. Morey gives to Taylor, and he is dropped, picking up maybe a yard or two. Whitlock made the stop for the Timberwolves. Actually made more like about 3 or 4 yards by the time he was brought down. So it'll be 2nd down and 6. Remember, this drive for the Lions was set up by a Timberwolf turnover when the ball was snapped to Kaylor Sullivan when he wasn't even looking, and it bounced off him to the ground, and the Lions picked it up. Now, 2 men left, 2 men right, the old spread offense for the Lions with Morey over center. Morey back to pass, looking to his left, throws it deep. Got a man there, and he can't hang on. Incomplete. Wide open that time was Bryce Miller on the corner route. 3rd down now for El Molino. They're in a 4-down position here. They have basically 2 plays to get down to about the 17-yard line. Morey, I was told by the athletic director for El Molino that Morey's had a good year so far, their quarterback. He's looked good, and he looks pretty good here tonight. The Timberwolves need to put a little pressure on him right now if they're going to try and hold him, although Taylor in the I-back formation now, he's the tailback. The I formation behind Morey looks more like a running set here. And in fact, they give to Taylor. He's running to his left. He's got room. He's sealed off. He's inside the 20 to the 15 to the 10. And 1st down, El Molino at the Timberwolves 10-yard line. Or about the 12-yard line, I guess. So the Lions are knocking on the door once again. 4:02 to go here in the second quarter. Ball at about the 12-yard line. So Fort Bragg's defense right now on their heels a little bit. You got to give credit to Taylor, the running back for El Molino. He's having a good game tonight. That was a nice 3rd down play for the Lions. So now 2 men split out to the right for the Lions. Gasper splits out there. Along with him, Jamini. 2 men split out left. The lone back is Taylor. Morey back to pass, looking over the middle, pump fake, throw over the middle, intercepted! The Timberwolves have it. Making the interception was Hunter Casey that time, and Fort Bragg's defense, just when they needed to, comes up with a big turnover. So with 3:53 to go in the quarter, the Lions stopped deep. And remember, that was at the 12-yard line when the ball was snapped. Nice interception that time by Casey, and he returned it to the 15. Morey didn't see him, I think. He was trying to throw that ball to somebody just behind Casey, and Casey stepped in front of the passing lane and made a nice interception. All right, Kaylor sets his offense up. Sullivan in the shotgun, takes a snap. Give is to Giacomella. Big yardage across the 20 to the 25 and up to the 26-yard line. 11-yard gain, 1st down Timberwolves. Giacomella, a good runner, as Coach Perkins said before the game. We can run if we have to. So here's that pro set, no huddle offense. Sullivan with Giacomella back there with him. In the shotgun, takes a snap, rolling to his left, throws. Morgan makes the catch, slides through one tackle, gets across the 30 up to about the 32-yard line before he stopped. Picks up about 5 or 6 yards. 3:26 to go first half. Fort Bragg with an interception from Hunter Casey with the football. Now have it out to the 33-yard line. Again, no huddle. 2 men split right. Now 3 men out here to the right as Morgan is in the slot. Sullivan looks instead to his left. Pass is caught by Triplett. 1st down at the 40, up to the 44-yard line. The Timberwolves move the chains. 3:03 to go in the second quarter. Fort Bragg leading 14-7. 1st down at the 44. Trujillo split way out to the right. Baker in the slot to the right, and I think El Molino's going to call a timeout. What do we got? Yes, that's it. The Lions have called a timeout. Boy, I tell you what, you got that no-huddle air raid offense going, and when you get it cranking, the defense is trying to figure it out, and you don't call a huddle. It's just it could be a difficult offense to defend when it's clicking. And right now the Lions will call a timeout. We'll take a short break too. It's 14-7. Fort Bragg leading here. First half, just about 2:57 to go before halftime. And we'll be back with a short timeout here right now in just a moment. 3 minutes to go before halftime. We're back. I'm Lindy Peters from MendocinoTV.com. 1st and 10 now for Fort Bragg. As they run that spread offense, Kaylor Sullivan takes a snap, looking left, throws, passes, intercepted, I think. Hard to see across the fog. An interception as the man stepped right in front and picked it off. That was Lanny Gasper. He read, I'll tell you what Sullivan did that time is he locked onto his receiver, something he'll learn. He's just a junior, but even at this level, you can't stare at your receiver before you throw the football unless he's wide open. And that time he looked at the man, and then when he threw the ball, Gasper stepped in front and picked it off. Well, let's see if the defense can hold for the Timberwolves. 2:51 to go. Plenty of time here before halftime. The ball right at midfield as the Lions come up with a big turnover. Morey over center. Back to pass. Throws it deep. Left side. The ball is intercepted by Triplett at the 27 to the 30. And dropped at about the 34-yard line as penalty flags come flying in all over the place. Every referee threw a penalty flag as if to say, I want in on this too. You can see the flags on the field probably as that one unfolded. Probably blocking in the back. Either way, the Timberwolves, the penalties came in after the turnover, so Fort Bragg will have the football. Let's see what it is. And again, it just... there's that it is. It's block in the back. 2 blocks in the back. Want to go for 3? Well, you can only have 1. So the ball will go back to the 25-yard line. So 2:36 to go in the half. And what was a fairly well-played game by both teams has suddenly turned into a bunch of turnovers, although you got to give credit for interceptions. But some penalties now starting to slow things down a bit as well. All right, here we go. 1st and 10, Fort Bragg, the ball thrown 25. Sullivan, again, pump fake this time. He's in trouble now. He throws, underthrown to Giacomella, but nice of Sullivan to even get that pass off. He was in the grip of somebody that time as he got that pass off to Giacomella, incomplete, 2nd down and 10. For the most part, Kaylor Sullivan's had some time to throw, but it got a little pressure that time. 2nd down and 10. Giacomella the lone back with Sullivan. Now Morgan comes in motion. Fakes to Morgan, throws back on middle screen to Giacomella, and a nice defensive play by El Molino that time. That was Levi DeCarli. If he doesn't make that play, Giacomella is going to get a 1st down because there was some yardage out in front of him that time, but a nice play defensively. Also in on the stop for El Molino was Ryan Fernandez. So now it's 3rd down for the Timberwolves. They still need about 10 yards to go, down to 2 minutes to go in the half. Sullivan back to pass, looks, rolls to his right. Now he stops, comes back, throws, passes, incomplete. Passing that time intended for Tyler Baker. So it'll be 4th down. So the Lions defense looks pretty good right now as they're holding that passing offense. But I'll tell you what, when Fort Bragg has run the ball, they've been pretty successful. So we'll see if Roy Perkins makes some adjustments at halftime and maybe runs the football a little bit more to set up that passing game. But the Timberwolves will have to punt. 1:52 to go here in the half, leading 14-7. Rain Saunders with the punt. Bad punt off the side of his foot, and it's out of bounds. Didn't even get across midfield that time. El Molino takes over at the Fort Bragg 47-yard line. So the Lions have time here to get some points on the board. Fort Bragg leading 14-7. 1st and 10 El Molino on the near hash mark at the Timberwolves 47-yard line. The Lions break the huddle and Morey brings him up. 2 men split right, 1 man split out left. Bryce Miller's the man you got to watch to the left here, but instead they give it to Taylor, the running back, and he's dropped right at the line of scrimmage. Nice tackle that time by several Timberwolves. We'll wait and see who it is that made that first initial hit till he gets up. He was hit initially by Hunter Casey. No gain or maybe a loss on that play, saying second down at about 11. But more importantly, the clock keeps ticking. 1:25, 1:24 to go in the half. Fort Bragg leading here. First half action, 14-7. Second down at 11 now. Ball at the 48-yard line or 47-yard line of the Timberwolves. Morey looks it over. Long count, looking right, throwing right, man's open, makes the catch. That's Gasper, cuts inside, first down on Molino before he's driven out of bounds. Coach Perkins saw it coming. He was yelling something across the field, predicting that exact play, but his defense unable to adjust. He takes a set off and strides out to the field a little upset as he obviously saw what was coming, but he just couldn't get the information out to his defense. So that was a big play. First down inside they're marking it at the 35-yard line. Under a minute to go, so the defense really just has to prevent any big play at this point. We'll keep it right here during this timeout. Fort Bragg scored on a touchdown run from Giacomella to set up a 7-0 score. Then Triplett made a nice catch on a corner route, made it 14-0. The Lions scored on a run by Eddie Taylor, and that's where we are right now. It's 14-7, Fort Bragg with the lead. Coach Perkins, after the timeout, comes back. He probably would have been a lot angrier if that ball went a little further downfield or got into the end zone, because he definitely saw it coming. He just couldn't get the information out across to his defense because it was on the far side of the field. So here we go, 54 seconds to go in the half. El Molino trying to get some points on the board before halftime. Morey gives to Taylor. Taylor trying to get outside left side, and he's a block at the back, and there's the flag. Thank you very much. That was obvious from up here. Triplett made the tackle, but this one's coming back, sealing off the play that time. There was an obvious block in the back. You probably saw it too if you're watching at home. So this play will come back. It'll be a 10-yard penalty. It stops the clock, though, giving El Molino a little more time here to talk things over, but they'll have to move it back. And I believe blocking in the back is marked off from where the infraction occurs, which was about 3 or 4 yards downfield. There he's putting the flag down to show you where it's going to be marked off from. So it comes back 10 yards out to the 44-yard line. So it's it's a first down, 1st and 20 for El Molino from the Timberwolves 44. The Timberwolves team on the sideline exhorting their defense to fire up. Morey sets up the draw. Taylor has it, and he's dropped. Casey again in there on the stop. Also quickly was Whitlock to come in and finish him off. No gain, setting up third down now. Clock running, 34, 33, 32 seconds to go in the half. Morey brings him up on the near sideline. 1 man left, 2 men right. Watch this man out here left. No, instead they give it to Taylor running around the right. And there's Casey in the backfield, dropping him for a loss. And the clock, 17, 16, 15. I'm not sure if the Lions have another timeout. They're going to be hard-pressed to get a playoff here. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 6, 7 seconds, and I think they're just going to let it go because they will have the ball to begin the second half. So the Lions choose to let the clock run out. It's halftime at Timberwolves Stadium. It's a good game. Hope you're enjoying it. I'm Lindy Peters from MendocinoTV.com. The score, the Fort Bragg Timberwolves 14, the El Molino Lions 7. We'll take a little break. We'll be back with an exciting second half coming up in just a moment.
Hey, great news from Fort Bragg Transmission. Their service has expanded, and now they do most general vehicle repairs. They're ready for radiators to differentials, and from wheel bearing maintenance to tune-ups. Call Fort Bragg Transmission on Franklin Street for dependable automotive repairs.
Fort Bragg Transmission, 964-7960.
Purity Supermarket is your friendly neighborhood grocery store in downtown Fort Bragg. If you want the freshest produce with the best prices in town, head to Purity. The butcher department has great prices too. Whether you want a fresh, juicy steak or just some hamburger for your favorite recipe, you'll save money at Purity. They also stock a hot deli case with ready-to-eat ribs, chicken, and more if you're in a hurry. The shopping is convenient. You're not racing all over the store for one item to the next. And there's always plenty of parking in their spacious parking lot. For hassle-free grocery shopping and savings on your monthly food bill, visit Purity Supermarket, locally owned and community-minded on Franklin Street, downtown Fort Bragg. It's Purity.
At some point in your life, you're going to need a good attorney. Ryan Perkins, attorney at law, is the only practicing attorney in Fort Bragg that was once a Fort Bragg Timberwolf. He knows the community, he knows the history, and best of all, he knows the law. Whether you're struggling to put together a will, feel you've been wronged by another business or individual, been charged with a crime, or simply have questions on whether or not you have a good legal case, call Ryan Perkins in Fort Bragg. 964-4900. Ryan Perkins, attorney at law, on your team.
All right, here we go. Second half, Fort Bragg leading in this one, 14-7. The Timberwolves scoring first on a nice run by Brett Giacomella. They added a second touchdown on a pass from Kaylor Sullivan to Lucas Triplett. El Molino scored on a nice run by Eddie Taylor. And right now the Fort Bragg passing offense has struggled just a little bit, or I guess a good way of putting it is the El Molino defensive backs and their defense pretty much overall has managed to slow down the air raid attack of the Fort Bragg Timberwolves very nicely in that second quarter. The Timberwolves can run out of that spread formation, and when they have, they've looked pretty good. So maybe at halftime, Roy Perkins said, you know what, let's run a little bit and try and set that pass up a little better. We'll see. But for now, the Lions are going to have the ball as we begin the second half. Rain Saunders getting ready to kick off. The Lions in their white jerseys with black pants and red numerals wait. And here's the kick, and it's a short kick, and flying in there to make the stop for the Timberwolves at the 38-yard line. Didn't see who that was, but boy, that was quite a stick. The man a little slow getting up right now. That was perfectly legal because he had not gone and touched his knee to the ground yet when he was hit. It was one of the up man for the Lions. Let's hope he's okay. It's Ryan Fernandez. As he limps off, he appears to be okay. So El Molino will have it 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line of the Lions to begin the second half. They trail by 7. We play 12-minute quarters here in high school football. I'm Lindy Peters, MendocinoTV.com. Thanks for watching as we begin the second half. The Lions bring it up to the line of scrimmage behind their quarterback, Maury. 2 men split right, 1 man splits left. Backs in the I formation. A tailback is Taylor. They give it to him. He jukes one tackle, gets outside to the left, still on his feet, and horse collar down. A nice tackle that time by Brett Giacomella. So about a 5-yard gain. It's going to be second down at about 5. The ball up to about the 44-yard line of the Timberwolves as Maury comes up to the line of scrimmage. He's got Gasper split way out to the right. Man slotted inside him. 2 men left, 2 men right. Spread formation for the Lions. Taylor the lone back. Maury looking to his right. Throws. A pass is caught by Gasper. Makes a catch at midfield. He's got a first down. Stiff arms a man and then is thrown out of bounds. Across midfield. Nice move by Gasper that time after the catch. Down to about the Timberwolves' 43-yard line. Now it's El Molino that's coming out with the no-huddle offense. And they're bringing it right up to the line of scrimmage, and they're running the spread. They're basically mirroring what the Timberwolves have been doing on offense. Now Maury says, let's come back and huddle up. And a penalty flag goes in. And why would that be? Not sure. Kind of an odd time to throw a penalty. Did they have 12 men in the huddle? A legal procedure. I think they did. I think they had 12 men in the huddle, which you can't do. And that's an illegal procedure. So a 5-yard penalty. That's you can't put 12 men in the huddle and then have one run out before a play. So that's why that penalty was called and the play hadn't even happened yet. So it's 1st and 15 for the Lions. Maury gives to Taylor. Taylor is hit and stopped after little or no gain that time. Once again, Hunter Casey made the stop. No gain on the play, setting up second down and 15. Well, the Timberwolves, 10:58 to go here in this third quarter, just underway in the second half, leading 14-7, but they're in a good game here tonight. Once again, it's a spread offense for the Lions. Three men come out here to the right, Gasper to the far right on the bottom of your screen. One man split way out to the top of your screen as Morey has one back, Taylor behind him in the backfield. And he's back to pass, looking to his right, throws underneath to the man who makes the catch and is stopped short of the first down by plenty. Nice tackle that time. Gemini made the catch, but he was stopped. And it's going to be third down and 12 for the Lions. And once again, they come up here to the line of scrimmage rather quickly, getting out of the huddle. Spread offense again, 2 men right, 2 men left. Morey looks over for the play from the sideline, looks over the Timberwolves defense, and the Lions quarterback over center now, takes a snap, looking to his left. There's the catch, and well short of the first down and stop for no gain, setting up fourth down now at about the Timberwolves 44-yard line. Let's see if they go for it here. They might. They trail 14-7. Do they want to gamble and go for it? It's going to be 4th and 11 if they do. Otherwise, they could put the Timberwolves deep in their own territory. Instead, it looks like they're going to go for it on 4th and 11. Now they send out their punting unit, so the Lions appear to be punting it away as Zach Jeeves comes out to punt. Morgan goes back. Timberwolves look a little scrambled trying to set up here on the play. There's the snap. There's the kick. He gets it away. It's off the side of his foot. And Morgan's going to field it at the 15 to the 20 to the 25 to the 30, and out of bounds he goes. Boy, it sure looked like a helmet-to-helmet hit that time from Tony Gemini. No call, though. Morgan gets right up, walks back out. Timberwolves will have it 1st and 10, the ball at their own 30-yard line. Nice return by Morgan that time. He took a licking on the sideline that time. It almost looked like a helmet-to-helmet hit. So Fort Bragg has it now for the first time in the second half. Sullivan with 3 men split to the right. Gives it to Giacomella going up the middle. And just as I thought they might try and run the football, they do, but not a lot of success that time. Giacomella stopped after a short gain. Looks like one of the Lions limping a little bit after that play, Josh Wright. Favoring his left leg. Sullivan now with Giacomella behind him. 2 men left, 2 men right in the spread formation. Takes a snap, back to pass, looks, throws, caught. And close to a first down. He's got a first down across the 40 up to the 45-yard line. Catch is made that time by Brad Giacomella. You got Brad, you got Brett. You have to articulate for the Timberwolves this year. You can't just say Giacomella. First down, Timberwolves, the ball at their own 43-yard line. Again, Sullivan out of the shotgun. Got Brett Giacomella behind him. Now he steps up, now he's sacked. As he goes down, almost a face mask that time, right at the, well, actually a loss of a couple of yards. The ball back to the Timberwolves 40-yard line. 8:11 to go, third quarter. Fort Bragg leading in this one 14-7. Triplet split out to the left, 2 men split right. As Kaylor Sullivan takes the snap, looking to his right, steps up, throws it over the middle, caught and dropped. Giacomella had it for a moment, but he couldn't hang on. That was Brett Giacomella. That would have been enough for a first down, but instead it's going to set up third down and 13. Clock stops. 14-7, the Timberwolves lead. This is a big play now. They want to try and sustain a little bit of an offensive drive, as the Lions have had the ball most of the time here, beginning about midway through the second quarter. The time of possession, I think, favors the Lions. Now the Timberwolves getting the play off to their offense. And now they've called a timeout. It looked a little confusing out there for the Timberwolves, and it was a big play, so Coach Perkins does a wise thing and calls a timeout. We'll take a timeout. It's 14-7. I'm Lindy Peters. It's MendocinoTV.com you're watching. Thanks for joining us on the internet as we want to thank some of the sponsors that make it possible here to bring you these games. We'll be broadcasting the games, or I should say streaming the games. Possibly some of these games will even be live away, so we're happy about that. Anyway, we want to thank Randall's Heating and Sheet Metal, Purity Supermarket, Peoria Insurance LLC, Columbia's Market and Deli, the Jerry Mello Foundation, Ryan Perkins Attorney at Law, and Fort Bragg Transmission, all helping us bring you this live high school action event here tonight. You're watching it now on the website. Triplet way out here left. Slotted inside of him is Brad Giacomella. 3 men split out to the right. And the Timberwolves get a false start from Tyler Baker, so they'll go back another 5 yards. Ball will go back to the 35-yard line, where it'll be 3rd down and 18 now for the Timberwolves. Last year on the junior varsity team, Sullivan's favorite receiver was Triplet. He's being defended very well by Gasper here tonight. Been a little quiet. Sullivan back to pass. He's in trouble, and he throws it, and it's incomplete. And they want intentional grounding, but they're not going to get it, I don't think. So it's 4th down. The Timberwolves will have to punt. 4th down and 18. 7:45 to go, 3rd quarter. Really, after the Timberwolves took off with a 14-0 lead, the rest of this game up to now, the Lions have had more time of possession, have moved the ball better, and are right in this thing. And for some reason, the whistles blow a timeout called by El Molino that time, as the Timberwolves were ready to punt it away. And that wasn't Rain Saunders in there to punt, it was Scooty Titus. Not sure if something's wrong with Saunders or not. So we'll take a timeout to score. It's Fort Bragg 14, El Molino 7. We'll be back here with action right after this. All right, we're rolling now. 4th down. The Timberwolves will have to punt. Titus to punt. He gets his punt off. And it's received by El Molino at about the 40-yard line. Baker makes the stop. And the Lions will have good field position, taking over 1st and 10, the ball at their own 42-yard line. Jamini on the punt return for the Lions. 41-yard line. El Molino has it, 1st and 10. So the Timberwolves defense is going to be put to the test again. Morey, quarterback for the Lions, looks out now and runs that spread offense formation. 2 men left, 2 men right. Taylor, the lone back, behind him. Morey back to pass, looking to his right. Pass is thrown and caught by Gasper. A nice 10-yard gain that time. That was Morgan on the coverage. 1st down inside the Timberwolves territory now, down to the Timberwolves 48-yard line. Clock stops for the chain gang. 7:33 to go, 3rd quarter. One of the problems when you run that spread offense on incomplete passes is that little time goes off the clock, and then you've got to turn around and give it to the other team. And Fort Bragg hanging in there. They still lead 14-7. Morey gets the snap. Back to pass, looking to his left. He's in trouble. And he is sacked by the Timberwolves. Back across the 45 down to his own 44. Strickland with a nice move that time to make the stop. Also coming in to help out for the Timberwolves was Ricky Cavender. Cavender, an outstanding wrestler for the Timberwolves wrestling team last year. He's a senior, 5'10", 185-pounder. He wrestled at 180 pounds last year and had a great wrestling season with the rest of the Fort Bragg wrestlers who played, I should say wrestled, to one of the best wrestling seasons at Fort Bragg High School history. And I'll tell you what, if you're a good wrestler, you're usually a pretty good football player. So it'll be 2nd and long for the Lions now as Morey over center in the I formation, gives it on a draw, and there you go, another loss and a fumble. And I think the Timberwolves have the football. They do. The Timberwolves defense, a good job. Casey in there. Also Marco Mora made an initial hit as he comes in there and causes a fumble that time. The Timberwolves have it 1st down at the 40-yard line of El Molino. So they haven't really done much on offense the last few possessions. Let's see how they do here after that turnover. And again, a little confusion now as they can't figure out who the personnel might be. Coach Perkins says everything's okay on the sideline. Let's get the play off. 1st and 10 at the 40. Sullivan gets a snap. Gives. Running back up the middle. Picking up some nice yardage that time is Jonathan Tamayo, the Mayan nightmare. And he's still going. It's a first down. My goodness. All the way across the 30-yard line down to the 27-yard line. And that's why Tamayo is called the Mayan nightmare. So it's first down, Timberwolves, inside the 30, down to about the 27-yard line. 13-yard pickup. Sullivan's pass to Triplett as he cuts over the middle, makes a nice move, darts through another man, and gets down close to the 15-yard line. Beautiful run after the catch from Lucas Triplett as he was slippery like an eel. Timberwolves do get a first down, and they come right up to the line of scrimmage, down to the 17-yard line. Sullivan gets a snap, looking, throws. Triplett again makes a catch down to the 10, about a 6-7-yard pickup. 5:53 to go here in this third quarter. Fort Bragg leading 14-7, but now they're down inside the red zone with a second and about 4 yards to go at the 11-yard line of El Molino. Sullivan again, pump action fake, rolling to his right, throws. Oh, right through Morgan and nearly intercepted. I'll tell you what, if Kaylor Sullivan wanted to run that time, he could have got the first down and maybe even into the end zone. Instead, he threw it, and a little too much mustard for Devin Morgan, and went right through his arms and nearly was picked off by the safety who was behind him. As that fog rolls into Timberwolves Stadium, it's going to be third down now at the 11-yard line. This is a big play. The Timberwolves need to get a first down. Morgan comes in motion. Sullivan takes a snap, throws the fade pattern to Triplett, and he makes the catch. Touchdown, Timberwolves. A beautiful catch. Gasper couldn't have covered him any better, but I tell you what, Triplett is an amazing receiver when he's covered. He did it last year as a JV. He does it again. His second touchdown catch as he took it away. And there's where your basketball instincts come in. He basically went in and got the rebound. As they say in basketball, he can go to the rack. So it's now 20-7, 5:28 to go third quarter as Saunders on for the extra point. Snap, spots down, kick is up, and it is good. So the Timberwolves on a turnover march 40 yards to the end zone, culminating on a 13-yard pass from Kaylor Sullivan to Eric Triplett. I'll tell you, I'm going to call him the wrong name 3 or 4 times tonight because of his family. Lucas Triplett. You'd think I'd know that. My own son has the same name, Lucas. Long gone from Fort Bragg High School, though. 21-7. The Timberwolves lead, 5:28 to go, third quarter, as the fog rolls in and the crowd gets excited. We'll keep it right here, getting ready for the kickoff. That's the thing about this spread offense that we like to call the air raid. They could score quickly. So even if they have a few possessions where they're not moving the ball and they're giving it back to the other team via the punt, they could score very quickly, and that's exactly what happened this time as they went 40 yards in. The big play, though, really was when the Mayan Nightmare ran it right 13 yards throughout almost the entire defense of the Lions to kind of get that drive going. So here we go as Saunders kicks it off. It's a low end-over-end kick. Bounces down about to the 20-yard line and goes out of bounds. So that means El Molino is going to have the ball in good field position here to start this drive. When you kick it out of bounds, I think they bring it out to the 35 or 40-yard line. I'm not sure at the high school level how this works. So here we go, waiting for the referees to spot the football. I think it's the 35-yard line. I think if it goes out, well, I don't know. I'll just wait and see. And that is where they'll mark it. 1st and 10, the Lions football at their own 35. 5:26 to go, third quarter. The Timberwolves now leading 21-7. 3 men split right, 1 man splits to the left for the Lions. Morey gives. Taylor comes through, doesn't get much. The defense much better on the run now, as that was Brett Giacomella who made the initial stop. Taylor gets up a little sore, it looks like, but I'll tell you what, he's a tough kid. He's going to go out. He left earlier in this game with some sort of injury, but only for a few plays, and then came back. And he has really been the offensive star. He and the quarterback, Maury, have been really the two offensive stars. You got to throw in their wide receiver, Lonnie Gasper, as well. Lonnie's had a good game, too. So it's second down and let's call it 8. The ball at the 36-yard line as Maury takes, play action, fakes, back to pass, got some time. Pass is incomplete, just overthrown a little bit as Jiminy was the intended receiver. So it's third down and 8 now. Clock stops, third quarter, 4 minutes, 40 seconds to go. Fort Bragg leading in this one 21-7. Ball at the 36-yard line. The Lions get the play in from the sideline. Again, it's pretty foggy here, so it's hard to see, but I don't think Taylor has returned to the huddle yet for El Molino. Instead, back behind there at running back in the single back formation is Josh Wright. And here's that spread offense again. 2 men split left, 2 men split right. Maury over center. Surveys the defense, takes the snap, back to pass. Looking to his left, throws, and the ball is caught by El Molino. Nearly intercepted that time. Oh, no, it's incomplete. Austin Trujillo on the coverage that time. It looked like he was going to make the interception, but instead the ball almost wrestled away from him that time. But the end result is an incomplete pass. So the Lions look like they're going to punt. Zach Jeeves back in punt formation. Devin Morgan back to receive along with Triplett. And the Mayan Nightmare Tamayo back there as well. Tamayo's 5'6", 165. Here's the punt, nearly blocked. Triplett takes it at the 30-yard line. Stiff arms a man. Cuts inside another and goes down at about the 37-yard line. About an 8-yard return for the Timberwolves. 4:22 to go, third quarter, leading 21-7. The purple and white on a Friday night under the lights take over the football, leading 21-7. Strickland, 6'2", 225 out there. Timberwolves having a little trouble getting their personnel on the field. Cavender sprints out to his guard position. Sullivan out of the shotgun, sends a man in motion. That's Martinez. They have plenty of time because they haven't huddled up. And what happened? Timeout? Timeout El Molino. The Lions have called a timeout. We'll take a timeout. 4:22 to go, third quarter. Fort Bragg 21, El Molino 7. I'm Lindy Peters. You're watching MendocinoTV.com. All right, getting a little thick out there with the fog. As we come back after the timeout, Timberwolves have it. 1st and 10. Ball at their own 37-yard line. Sullivan throws a little swing pass to Morgan, and he's hit and dropped for a loss. They've tried that play a couple of times. It hasn't been all that successful. Give credit to the Lions defense that time. I had a little trouble in this fog seeing who the personnel was that made the stop that time, but it was a 5 or 6 yard loss. Second down and 16. Down to about 4 minutes to go, third quarter. Fort Bragg leading 21-7 as Strickland touches the sideline and comes out for the Timberwolves offense. Sullivan takes the snap, back to pass, looking, in trouble, scrambling around, still in trouble, gets away. Now he looks and throws it deep. Got a man wide open. Tyler Baker makes the catch, and that's how Sullivan can see the field so well. He saw Triplett. He was covered. He saw Morgan. He was covered. He saw Baker. He found him and completed a big pass down to the 39-yard line. First down, Timberwolves. Nice scramble that time, too, as Sullivan looked like old Fran Tarkenton on that play. 1st and 10, Fort Bragg. Morgan comes in motion. Sullivan looking to his right. Pump fake. Throws it back over the middle. Incomplete. Knocked away nicely that time by Ryan Fernandez. So the clock stops now with 3:30 to go here in this third quarter. Fort Bragg leading 21-7. They've got a first down now at the El Molino 40-yard line. If nothing else, they hope to take some time off the clock here. 2 men split right, 2 men split left. Man comes in motion, that's Ibarra. Sullivan gets the pass, or gets the snap, throws it, and the ball is incomplete. Into the fog it went as Martinez was the intended receiver. That's now going to be third down and 11. Sullivan looking over at the sideline to Coach Perkins for the play. Incomplete passes, of course, stop the clock, so 3:24 to go. The only problem, as I said, with this air raid defense is you can't really take a lot of time off the clock when you have the football unless you run it. Sullivan takes a snap, got time, got a man open. It's complete. That's Giacomella inside the 30, inside the 25, bolts his way down to the 15-yard line. Again, Sullivan seeing the field so well. He looked over the middle, and then he found Giacomella wide open. And when you've got a spread offense and people running different routes, you just have to read the defense. Somebody usually is open if you have time to throw the football. 1st and 10, Timberwolves down inside the 15-yard line of El Molino. This time a run. Here comes the Mayan Nightmare right up the middle, and he's close inside the 5-yard line. First down, Timberwolves. Tamayo with a nice run right up the middle that time. First and goal for the Timberwolves now as the clock continues to run. Under 3 minutes to go here in this third quarter. Fort Bragg knocking on the door again. Sullivan takes a snap, backs up, looks to his left. He can run it in if he wants. He gets away from 3 men and then throws to a man wide open. Touchdown, Timberwolves. And Kaylor Sullivan making it look easy out there. That was Jesse Martinez making the catch. As Sullivan broke 2 tackles that time in the backfield before throwing a touchdown. It's now 28-7. And that's the kind of thing, if you're a scout or if you're somebody that's looking at this young junior quarterback for the Timberwolves and you see something like that, how he can get away and still come up and find somebody open for a touchdown pass, those things are hard to coach. That's just natural ability there. Saunders with the extra point. It's up and it's good. And now, with 2:38 to go in the third quarter, the Timberwolves starting to run away a little bit. It's Fort Bragg 28 and El Molino 7. Jesse Martinez with the touchdown pass. That's the third touchdown pass for Sullivan here tonight. He's got 2 to Triplett and 1 to Martinez. Brett Giacomella with a touchdown run as well. So we'll be back here for the kickoff in just a moment. Fort Bragg leading 28-7. All right, here we go with the kickoff. Fort Bragg leading 28-7, 2:38 to go third quarter as Rain Saunders kicks a high little kickoff that's going to bounce and go out of bounds again. So once again, the Lions will not return the football, but at the same time have fairly decent field position following the kickoff. So Fort Bragg, who kind of stumbled for a little while about midway through the second quarter to the midway of this third quarter, and suddenly their last 2 possessions have taken it right down into the end zone. And El Molino will start once again from their own 35-yard line. 28-7 Timberwolves. Thanks for joining us here wherever you're watching on MendocinoTV.com. I'm Lindy Peters, as Maury has had a good night at quarterback for El Molino, but only 7 points to show for it on the board. Give is to Taylor back in the game, and he is stopped, tripped up initially in the backfield. I think that was Cooper who tripped him up, and then finished off near the line of scrimmage, 2nd down and 10. So down to 2:14 to go here in this third quarter, and El Molino comes up to the line of scrimmage. Gaspar splits way out right. Gemini inside him. 2 men split left. It's the spread formation. 1 back behind Morey. Morey looks to his left, throws, pass is complete, and a nice gain up across the 40-yard line, although short of the first down, setting up third down at about 5. Pass caught that time by Bryce Miller. So 3rd down and 5. El Molino has it their own 41-yard line. Down under a minute 40 to go now in this 3rd quarter. Fort Bragg leading 28-7. Foggy night. We started off in the JV game. By the way, Fort Bragg's JV won 59-20 and really rolled up the score and looked really good doing it. A lot of turnovers in that game for the defense of the JVs. Anyway, here we go, 3rd down and 4. Morey back to pass, straight back, looking to his left. Throws, sideline route, incomplete that time. Again, it's so far away. I think it was Gemini, the intended receiver, or Jeeves maybe. So far away I can't tell, and unfortunately I haven't scouted the Lions, so can't tell just by body language who some of these guys are. Got to give some credit to the Timberwolves defensive line. They've had a great game overall. They've put a lot of pressure on the quarterback. Eddie Taylor had a good game running the ball at times, but for the most part, the Timberwolves have thwarted this ground game of El Molino, which is good. So now the Lions will have to punt. There's the punt. Nice spiral kick. Nice bounce for the Lions as it goes all the way inside the 15-yard line down to the 13-yard line. So about a 50-yard punt. Fort Bragg will take over 1st and 10. Less than a minute to go, 3rd quarter. So we're keeping it right here as the Timberwolves send their offense back out. This time they got a long drive, leading 28-7. A minute to go here in this 3rd quarter. You'd think maybe they'll run the football a little bit, but no, it looked like a passing formation, a legal procedure called against the Timberwolves. So they'll move back another 5 yards, setting up 1st down and 15. The danger here is they're pretty deep in their own territory. So have to be careful with the football right now. Sullivan back to pass, looking left, long pass on the way for Triplett. He jumps up and makes the catch. A 40-yard pass. Gasper wanted offensive pass interference. Triplett may have given, and now a penalty flag comes in so late, it's ridiculous. If that's against the Timberwolves, that's ridiculous because he just let the El Molino Lions call that penalty. Let's see what it is. Triplett may have had his hand on his back, but there was no call initially till El Molino started complaining. And unsportsmanlike conduct, I think, against El Molino. So that's what it was. They were just complaining vociferously that there might have been offensive pass interference. And instead, this isn't a court of law where you can convince a jury or a judge. Once a play happens, you start going after the referee, you're going to get called, and El Molino just did. So it's 1st and 10 Timberwolves at the 45 of El Molino. Sullivan back to pass. Throws it to Giacomello out of the backfield. He makes a catch. He's inside the 25 down to the 23-yard line. And this Timberwolves offense is rolling now. It's time to get the air raid sirens going. Kaylor Sullivan is hot. Beautiful pass that time. They sent 2 men streaking up the left side, and Giacomello came underneath, and Sullivan found him. 1st and 10 at the 23-yard line. Back to pass Sullivan. He looks. He throws. Morgan makes a catch at the 20 and is dragged down at about the 20-yard line. That should be the last play, I think, in this 3rd quarter with Fort Bragg leading 28-7. There's no reason the Timberwolves need to get another playoff here. But it looks like they might. 16, 15, 14 seconds to go. They're going to get another playoff. Sullivan back to pass. Looking to the end zone. Throwing to the end zone. Triplett is there. Oh, almost a dime. That should be pass interference on El Molino. A shove that time by Tony Giamini. Let's see what the call is. 6 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. And there's another penalty flag going in. Oh, it's against Fort Bragg apparently because the Timberwolves are backing up.
Penalties against the Timberwolves.
They're talking it over. That's probably offensive pass interference. So it was second down. The ball had been spotted at about the 20-yard line. So they'll mark it from there. It's apparently a 15-yard penalty all the way back to the 35-yard line. I'm not criticizing the decision to run a playoff, but they could have, theoretically, when you're ahead 28-7 going into the fourth quarter, they could have just let the clock go, but instead they ran a playoff, and now it results in a penalty second and long. There's a draw play to Mayo, and he gets about 5 yards back, and that will be the final play of the third quarter. With the score, Fort Bragg 28, El Molino 7. We'll enter the fourth quarter with the Timberwolves looking good here as the purple and white are hot tonight at Timberwolves Stadium. I'm Lindy Peters from MendocinoTV.com. We want to thank the people that make it possible to bring you this game tonight from Timberwolves Stadium, including Randall's Heating and Sheet Metal, Purity Supermarket, Peoria Insurance LLC, Columbia's Market and Deli, the Jerry Mello Foundation, Ryan Perkins Attorney at Law, and Fort Bragg Transmission. They are making it possible to bring you this game. We'll be back with the final 12 minutes of this football game in just a moment. And we're back to action now as Fort Bragg enters the fourth quarter with third and long. Sullivan, fake pass, pumps, then throws it deep, and incomplete. Intended that time for Baker. All right, 11:51 to go now as the Timberwolves look over here, fourth down. See if they want to run a play. They have it at the 30-yard line, fourth down and 15. They have to get the ball to about the 14-yard line of El Molino, and they're going to go ahead and run a play and not punt it away, as you might expect this deep in El Molino territory. There's that spread formation again. Strickland, the lone back with Sullivan out of the shotgun, back to pass. Getting some pressure, throws, and incomplete that time as Triplett and Gemini going at it on the left sideline. No penalty flag that time. So El Molino will take over on downs. The Timberwolves lead 28-7, 11:44 to go left in this game. So the Lions, with the fog rolling in, will huddle up and see what they can do. They can move the football. Morey is certainly a good quarterback. They need to get 3 unanswered scores to tie this thing up, and there isn't a whole lot of time left, but the Timberwolves don't have a clock-running offense. They tend to not have a lot of time of possession when they have the football. There's Taylor back in the game, running around the right side, getting a first down, breaking a tackle, still going, still on his feet. Stiff arm, he's going to go all the way for a touchdown. And just as I said, they have time to get back in the game. There they go. But 2 penalty flags are down back at about the 40-yard line of El Molino. That may come back as Taylor, with a fine run, might have it nullified with a penalty. That would have been a 70-yard touchdown run. And it still might be. The penalty may be against Fort Bragg. It looks like it is because the penalty flags are coming up. So the play stands with 11:29 to go. Plenty of time in this game. The Lions have just struck pay dirt with a long touchdown run. Now the Lions will go for the extra point. Zach Jivas will try the extra point. El Molino has a little trouble getting the right personnel out there. Now they do. Their long snapper runs out. And I think they took too much time. So move it back 5 yards, and usually that doesn't make too much difference on an extra point, but at the high school level it might. 11:29 left here in this game. And one of the time eaters without any time going on the clock is a penalty. These referees oftentimes will conference, and that's what's going on now. So we'll just hang in here and see what they're going to do. I don't know how complicated it is to march off 5 yards the other direction. Or was it against Fort Bragg? Well, it turned out it was against Fort Bragg. So it's half the distance the other way. And here's the snap, there's a spot, there's a kick blocked by the Timberwolves. I think all that penalty did is make Fort Bragg pin their ears back and say, okay, we'll show you what we're going to do about that. And the extra point was blocked. Coming in there that time was Whitlock to make the block. And the score now with 11:29 to go in the game, it's Fort Bragg 28, El Molino 13. All right, we're back. Apparently there was some sort of personal foul penalty on that extra point. I never saw a flag, but El Molino's actually kicking off from the Timberwolves' own 45-yard line. So they're going to have the ball deep in their own territory to start off this drive. So again, the Lions getting their personnel out on the field here as they get set to kick it off to the Timberwolves. Morgan back there along with Whitlock to receive the kickoff. And here it comes. And they kick it away, and they just let it go through the end zone. Feels pretty good to be able to kick it off from the other team's 45-yard line. So the Timberwolves will have it 1st and 10. Not only is it getting foggy here, it's getting cold. Timberwolves Stadium tonight, first home game. Fort Bragg putting a show on for the crowd, leading El Molino 28-13. This is a good game. I know Fort Bragg is leading by a couple of touchdowns, and it's late in the game, but I tell you, El Molino came to play, and they could get right back in this thing. I wouldn't be surprised if they did. Fort Bragg, like I said, doesn't use a lot of time off the clock when their offense isn't clicking. Here comes that spread offense for Sullivan. Back to pass. Throws, and the ball's blocked. Pass knocked down in the backfield, and the clock stops. 4 seconds, that's it, off the clock. 2nd and 10. One of the advantages, of course, most teams, when they run a different style of offense, when they get a lead late in the game like this, they just run the football, and the clock keeps running. Back to pass is Sullivan. Got a lot of time this time. His pass is caught by Triplett and makes a catch before he goes out of bounds. Looks like a first down, or very close to a first down, out here at about the 31-yard line. It is, in fact, a first down. Chains move. Clock stops, 11:19 left in the game. So they've used 10 seconds on the clock to run 2 plays. This time they give the ball to Giacomello. No, it's a fake, and instead Sullivan has the football as he rolls around the right side, and he gets about 8 yards, and the clock will run this time as he gets it out to the 40-yard line. Down to about 11 minutes to go here in this football game. Fort Bragg 28, El Molino 13. Lindy Peters for MendocinoTV.com. Hope you enjoy watching Through the Fog in high-definition internet television. Here come the Timberwolves. Again, Sullivan out of shotgun. Quarterback draw this time as he goes right up the middle. Takes a pop to the head. And he got a first down that time. He's a tough kid. I thought maybe there might be a penalty flag on that. It looked like kind of a cheap shot, but no call. That's fine with me as long as he's not hurt because clock keeps running. I stopped it for a moment to move the chain gang. 1st and 10 Timberwolves. This time 3 men split right, left, 1 man split to the right. Sullivan rolling to his left, looks back, steps up. So the clock stops. It looked like intentional grounding is going to be the call on Sullivan that time. If you were watching, it looked like he got sacked and the ball kind of came flying out of there. Tyler Baker, the only close man there to that football. Sullivan with his hands on his knees looking to the sideline. I think he's just maybe a little tired. He's taken a few shots, though, the last couple of runs. So intentional grounding, that's a loss of down. So it's going to be third down, and they're going to mark some yardage off here. 10:23 to go in the game.
Penalties against the Timberwolves for intentional grounding.
Boy, 15 yards at the high school level. Ouch.
Back to
I don't think,
the 27-yard line.
who am I to dispute what penalties are what, but 15 yards, and maybe it's not a loss of down at the high school level. It shouldn't be if you lose 15 yards on the play. Now the officials are discussing it further. And I'm not sure what the problem is, why they can't figure this out quicker, but another discussion here by the officials. All that does is it makes your toes a little bit colder on a cold, foggy night here in mid-September. Yeah, now they're saying it should be 5 yards, intentional grounding. And you know what? Sometimes I'm perceptive. Not always, but I sure thought that was wrong. And in fact, it is. Intentional grounding is a 5-yard penalty and a loss of down. So it's going to be third down and 15, I think. Maybe there isn't a loss of down. Well, it's second and 15 when all is said and done. Sullivan back to action, throws it over the middle. Baker wide open, makes a catch to the 40, to the 35, down to the 30-yard line. And a couple of times that pass wasn't complete. That time it was. Nice little read by Sullivan that time as he found the open man. Clock stops, 10:15 to go in the game. Ball down to the El Molino 30-yard line now. Timberwolves have moved the ball nicely from their own 20-yard line on this drive, using a minute and 14 seconds so far. A minute, 18 seconds, and that's it so far. Sullivan, little pass over the middle. Morgan makes the catch. He's got a first down inside the 20, down to the 18-yard line. Clock stops for a moment to let him move the chains. Fort Bragg on the march again. And now, in the second half, the time of possession getting a little bit more in favor of the Timberwolves. Sullivan takes a snap, looking, throwing, going for triplet. Triplet makes the catch. Touchdown, Timberwolves. What a beautiful catch. That ball was tipped by Gemini, and Triplet made the catch. He's got some good hands. 9:45 to go in the game. Another touchdown. It's now 34-13 on a juggling catch by Lucas Triplet. His third touchdown catch of the night. He's fun to watch. You can hear the Timberwolf howl in the background there as Fort Bragg puts another one in the end zone, and Sullivan has his fourth touchdown pass of the night. Extra point now from Saunders. Looked like El Molino went off sides. No call. Kick is up, and it is good. So with 9:45 to go in the game, it's Fort Bragg 35, El Molino 13. And the air raid, no huddle, spread offense with Kaylor Sullivan making his quick reads is lighting up the scoreboard tonight against a team from the Sonoma County League. Gotta like it. Lindy Peters here from MendocinoTV.com. We'll be back with the kickoff here in just a moment. All right, we're back. 9:45 to go in the game with Fort Bragg leading 35-13. Saunders ready to kick it off for the Timberwolves as the Lions get their receiving team out. Really, the bright spot for El Molino so far has been Eddie Taylor. He's had a good game, including a 70-yard touchdown run. The Timberwolves, Lucas Triplet with 3 touchdown catches. Kaylor Sullivan with 4 touchdowns. There's a low bouncing kickoff. Picked up by Taylor, and there he goes again. Nice run. They keep him in bounds. 9:37 to go. Taylor that time faked like he was just going to sort of trot with the football. Sort of lulled the special teams to sleep a little bit, and then nice return out to the 36-yard line. So here we go as the Lions have it now. Let's see if they can manage to take some time off the clock here. this has been a long game. Of course, they're only 12-minute quarters, but with neither team running the football on a regular basis and a lot of passing and no huddle offense, it takes a long time for the game. They're going to run it here. Taylor has it, and this time he's hit in the backfield by Casey. Breaks one tackle, but then is stopped, and the clock will run this time. And no, because the officials called a penalty. That will stop the clock too. Sometimes I wonder if the officials get paid by the hour. I say that kiddingly, but they can make a high school game go forever. So the penalty does stop the clock. And it's going against El Molino. So no complaints for me about that. It is a 15-yard penalty. Or a 10-yard penalty. It's to be first down and 20. All right. Here come the Lions once again. Steve Morey over center. 2 men left, 2 men left and right. Morey throws, pass is complete. And tackle is made. Bryce Miller made the catch. And that was Whitlock making the stop for the Timberwolves. Keeps him in bounds, and the clock runs down to 8:52 left in this game. Should have brought some earmuffs. I'm telling you, it's getting chilly here. Morey looks over the defense right now, calls out the play out of that spread formation, one back behind him. Morey quickly throws. Pass is incomplete, intended for Gasper that time. Good pass, just couldn't, too much mustard. Clock stops, 8:30 to go in the game. 35-13, Fort Bragg leading as that fog thickens up. Thanks for watching us here on MendocinoTV.com. This is the first coverage for the season. We will be covering Timberwolves football throughout the season, both home and on the road. We might even have some scouts watching this game, preparing for next week. All right, Morey again, same pattern. Short pass to Gasper, makes a catch, cuts around the right side, gets back to the initial line of scrimmage, and then is stopped. It's going to set up third down and 10.
Morey's pass was complete.
8:14 to go. We'll keep our eye on that clock. Fort Bragg with a comfortable lead, 35-13. So the Lions come up to the line of scrimmage now. Morey looks over to the coach on the sideline for the play. Triplett, the safety, is all the way back at the Timberwolves 40-yard line. And now I think we have a timeout. For some reason, the officials are stopping the game. It is timeout Fort Bragg. 7:51 to go in the game. It is fourth down. Fourth down. I missed a play there. And El Molino's going to punt. That's why Triplett was so far back. We'll take a timeout. Fort Bragg leading 35-13. 7:51 to go in this game. I'm Lindy Peters from MendocinoTV.com. All right, we're back here at Timberwolves Stadium getting ready for El Molino to punt the football. The Timberwolves special teams, one man running out here at the last minute now. I should say last second. There's the snap, the punt. You can barely see it in this fog. Fair catch called for the Timberwolves on the 35-yard line. We don't have a temperature gauge with us here, but I'm willing to bet the temperature has dropped down into the 40s now. It is getting chilly. Fort Bragg takes over, 1st and 10. Ball at their own 35-yard line, leading 35-13. 7:45 left in the game. Same formation, spread formation. Lone back is Giacomella. Brett Giacomella. Sullivan stepping up, throwing. That's Tyler Baker making the catch, breaks a tackle at the 50, to the 45, to the 40. Horse collar tackle. Out of bounds he goes at the 38-yard line. Getting a little chippy out there right now away from the football. As Fort Bragg, another big gain as Sullivan rolling up the yardage. I don't have a stat person, but I'm sure he has over 300 yards passing here tonight. Pretty sure. 200 for sure. Clock stops, 7:33 to go in the game. Sullivan again, back to pass, gets a blitz this time, gets it off to Giacomella. Up the sideline he goes. First down, out of bounds at about the 23-yard line. And that's why Sullivan is so effective. He saw the blitz coming, so did Giacomella. Giacomella just ran out of the backfield, and Sullivan found him just before the blitz got there. And instead of a sack, you have a first down gain down inside their 30-yard line. Actually inside the 25. The ball spotted at the 24. First and 10 Timberwolves. This time it's a give to Giacomella. The big guy breaks a tackle inside the 20 down to the 15. Another, I think, first down. And that's the beauty of this Timberwolves team this year. They can run it, they can throw it. Whatever the defense is going to give you, they'll take it. 7 minutes to go in the game. Fort Bragg knocking on the door again. Down right at about the 10-yard line. Sullivan back to pass. Throws. Corner route going to be intercepted in the end zone this time. He's going to run it back. He could go 100 yards. He's going to. It's going to be a 100-yard return. Not a good pass from Sullivan that time. That's probably a school record for El Molino. I think it was a 105-yard interception return. You don't see that very often. Eddie Taylor. And now it's 35 to 20.
I did not start Eddie in my fantasy league this week. Probably should have, but that's okay.
So the Lions are still making it interesting here. They're going to, if they go for 2 points and get it, they're going to trail by 2 touchdowns with 6:44 to go in the game. So there's something you don't see every day, and if you were watching this, MendocinoTV.com, and you're from El Molino, you might want to watch it again. You could jokingly say Kaylor Sullivan just threw a 102-yard touchdown pass, but unfortunately the points go up on the other side of the scoreboard. And again, I don't know what's going on, but a long delay on the field as the officials, for some reason, one of the officials wasn't under the goalpost, that's why. So here we go for the extra point. They go for one. Plenty of distance on there, but it's no good, wide left. So it's 35-19, 6:44 to go in the game. Will Coach Perkins run the football and take some time off the clock? I don't know. We'll find out when we come back. This game is going on and on. It's foggy, it's cold, and the Timberwolves leading 35-19. We'll be back with the kickoff here in just a moment. Lindy Peters from MendocinoTV.com. All right, here we go. The kickoff with 6:44 left in the game. Fort Bragg leading 35-19. Will it be an onside kick? I think so. There it is, the onside kick. And the Timberwolves may have given it up that time. It looked like Ibarra tried to dive and get it and dropped it, and El Molino has it at the 46-yard line. How quickly things have turned. The Timberwolves were going in to nail the coffin shut, and instead a 102-yard touchdown return. An onside kick is successful. There's probably a pretty good chance Fort Bragg's going to win this game, but that just opened the door big time right there. If they put 8 points on the board with a touchdown and a 2-point conversion, they're only going to be a touchdown behind the Lions. Timberwolves, though, have to play some defense now. Morey brings him up with a new life here. The El Molino Lions, as the fog and chill roll in here at Timberwolves Stadium. Morey, this time over center, back to pass, rolling to his right, play action, caught and dropped. Had a man open that time, but he couldn't hang on. Incomplete, stops the clock, 6:33 to go in the game. So the Lions will huddle up. One thing you certainly don't want to see at this point is any kind of an injury this late in the game when you could have maybe, like I said, sort of put things to rest. But give the Lions credit. They're up here playing hard, and they are back in this game right now. Believe it or not, in the fourth quarter. Spread offense for Morey. Over center. Back to pass. Little pressure. Gets away, and then a sack. And hopefully not a piling on call that time, as Hunter Casey came in just a little bit late, but they didn't call it. And that means the clock will continue to go and get down to about 6. I'm watching the clock not for the end of this game, but for a win. It's getting cold. We're outside broadcasting this game. So 3rd down and 9 now. El Molino right at midfield. Morey over center. 2 men to the right. 1 man splits left. And he gives it to Taylor. And Taylor gets away from a tackle. Cuts back. Still on his feet. Finally tackled. Nice run by Taylor as he got over midfield down to about the 47-yard line. And it's going to be 4th down. But the clock is running. Down to 5.5 minutes left in the game. I imagine El Molino will have to go for it here. It's at the 45-yard line of Fort Bragg. 4th down and 4. So if the Timberwolves can come up with a big play here, the clock running, they should be able to make it a little easier to get ready for a win.
It's 4th and 4 for the Lions on the 46-yard line.
So here we go. Morey over center. Big play, 4th and 4. Morey. Play action. Going to throw. He's in trouble. His pass is caught. Nice juggling catch inside the 40 down to the 36. That's a 1st down. The clock stops only for the chain gangs at this time. Miller made the catch for the Lions. So 1st down on 4th and 4, and the Lions are still alive. 4:51 left in the game. Up to the 36-yard line they bring their offense. Morey over center. Looks back across the field now. Is running the spread formation here as the coach signals in the play from the far sideline. Morey takes a snap. 3-step drop. Deep pass. Man's wide open. Makes the catch. And I believe he might be in the end zone. Down to the 1-yard line that time, making the catch for, I think it was Gasper that made the catch in the fog, kind of hard to see. And the Lions are going to be right back in this game, folks. They're at the 1-yard line.
First and goal at the 1 for the Lions.
So Morey now, after the onside kick, and there's a penalty flag as he goes to the end zone for a touchdown. Getting a little chippy again out there. This was set up by an onside kick, which everybody in the house knew was coming, but Timberwolves couldn't field the football, and that gave them life, and now this game is very interesting. There's a procedure call against the Lions, so that'll move it back to the 6-yard line, and more importantly, some more time will come off the clock. So the ball out to the 6-yard line now, 4:11 to go in the game. Clock starts to run now as Morey comes back into the huddle. First and goal for the El Molino Lions, trailing 35-19. In the fog at Timberwolves Stadium. It's getting thick out there. Morey gives it. Fumble. Ball's loose. And it's picked up by the Timberwolves, I think. Fort Bragg has it. As the Lions commit a turnover at a critical point in the game, Fort Bragg has it. 3:42 to go in the game. 1st and 10, Fort Bragg, the ball back at their own 13-yard line. So big play there, and now can they run some time off the clock? Strickland's going to come in the game for Giacomella, who comes out. Tristan Strickland, 6'2", 225. Back there was Sullivan in the fog, and they give it to Strickland, and that's the right call. Run some time off the clock. He goes up the middle, picks up 3 or 4 yards.
Strickland, the ball carrier.
Down to 3:33 to go in this game. 35-19. Timberwolves with the lead.
2 yards on the play. It'll be 3rd and 8. Excuse me, it'll be
Should be 2nd and 8. They've got the down wrong on the sidelines over there. Now they got it straightened out. I don't think we could see that anyway from here. And there's a give to Strickland again, and up the middle he goes again. And this time he powers his way and still on his feet. First down, the big guy. They call him the Beast, and you just saw why. And I think penalty flags are flying in there again. Down to about 3:07 to go in the game that will not end. Let's see what it is. Personal foul against the Timberwolves. That is absolutely, there's just no excuse for that. You're trying to win this game. You're trying to take the time off the clock. You just got a big first down, and now you get a personal foul penalty. I don't know who committed it or what they did, but no excuse for that whatsoever. You just gave the other team a chance. So the ball's coming back now to the 16-yard line. It was out across the 30. And
ball back to the 17-yard line.
it was a first down, so they've just, they can still take a lot of time off the clock here. Sullivan throws a pass. It's caught by Triplett, and Triplett fumbles the football. Boy, I tell you what, they just don't want anyone to go home here tonight. So now El Molino gets the ball back after the fumble at the 24-yard line. Well, you're getting your money's worth tonight. I know that you're watching this on tape delay. This game started at before 8 o'clock. It is 10:37. This is one of the latest football games I can recall, and there's still a lot of time. All right, Lions have it, trailing 35-19 as a turnover gives them the ball back. There's Morey back to pass, caught. Giacomella keeps him in bounds and makes the tackle. 2:45, 2:44, 2:43 to go in this game. If the Lions score and get an onside kick, they'll have a chance to tie the game up. They'll have to get 2 touchdowns and 2 two-point conversions to do it, but there's time. There's the give, and there's penalty flags flying in as the running back is tackled after getting a first down. Josh Wright that time with the run. But we do have a penalty. Who's it against? A lot of penalties tonight. A lot of penalties. Personal foul, face mask against the Timberwolves. Well, you know, you can't beat yourself, but Fort Bragg's trying pretty hard right now. So that'll bring it all the way down to what, the 5-yard line? 7-yard line. 2:17 to go. So here we go. Morey brings him up to the line of scrimmage. They were here a while ago and fumbled, and Fort Bragg had it with a chance to really seal the game, but they couldn't do it. They turned it back over on a fumble. Morey back to pass. Runs into his own man, and he is going to be sacked. And no penalty flags. How about that? My goodness. If I sound a little frustrated. Anyway, the clock continues to run now. 2:04, 2:03. We're actually going to get under 2 minutes to go in this game. 35-19, Timberwolves. I get grumpy when I get cold. So the Lions come up to the line of scrimmage. We're under 2 minutes to go, 1:45 to go. It's 2nd down and goal. After that sack, the ball out to the 13-yard line. Morey over center. 2 men left, 2 men right in the spread formation. Quickly looks to his left, and he is sacked again. Then the clock continues to run. 1:28, 1:27, 1:26 to go in the game. Casey in on the sack. Also in there with him that time was Sam Perkins. Down to a minute 14, a minute 13 to go. 3rd and goal. The ball started at the 5, or 6. It's all the way back now to the 19-yard line. 3rd down and goal. Obviously, the Lions will go for it on 4th down. We're under a minute finally to go in the game. Morey back to pass again. Throws to the end zone. Throws a high fly ball that's knocked away by Morgan. The reason I said high fly ball is because that's what it looked like. He just aired it out that time and put a lot of arc on that pass, trying to see if he could get a jump ball in the end zone in the corner. So now with 45 seconds to go in the game, El Molino 4th and goal. Ball at the 19-yard line. Morey with one man, Josh Wright, in the backfield behind him. 2 men split left, 2 men split to the right. Everybody pretty much from Fort Bragg has stayed at this game because it's been exciting. Morey back, throws, got a man open, intercepted, triplet, to the 10, to the 20, to the 30, still on his feet, gets a block, to the 50, to the 40, 1 man to beat, can't do it. He's down at the 30-yard line and this game's over. I shouldn't say it's over. There's 32 seconds to go. All Fort Bragg has to do is take a snap and take a knee. Take a snap and take a knee, and this thing's in the books. So here we go. 35-19. Now people finally start to leave. We want to thank you folks for watching. MendocinoTV.com. I'm Lindy Peters. And the Fort Bragg Timberwolves will just run the clock out as Sullivan takes a knee. 30 seconds to go. They do not have to run another play, and that should do it here from Timberwolves Stadium. We've had a good football game here, to be sure. There were a few penalties. There were a few turnovers. It's early in the season, but these were 2 good football teams that came to play, and hats off to the El Molino Lions as they took this game right down to the last 45 seconds before the Timberwolves could rest easy. Fort Bragg had gone out in front in this game by quite a bit. But that's it. I'm Lindy Peters from MendocinoTV.com. That's your final. The Fort Bragg JVs win it 59-20. The Fort Bragg varsity wins it 35-19. A double win tonight for the Fort Bragg Timberwolves in their home opener at Timberwolves Stadium. For MendocinoTV.com, I'm Lindy Peters. Once again, thanks to our sponsors who make it possible to bring you these games, including Ranelagh's Heating and Sheet Metal, Purity Supermarket, Peoria Insurance, LLC, Columbia's Market and Deli, Jerry Mello Foundation, Ryan Perkins, Attorney at Law, and Fort Bragg Transmission. Thanks for joining us. We'll be here all season long. I'm Lindy Peters once again for MendocinoTV.com. The Timberwolves win it 35-19.